win the 2027 election, even if every 36 states governor, all the ministers, all the National Assembly members made them day in support of Tinubu, in no matter. I go still win the 2027 election. The same way where I win the 2023 election. I win 14 states. I not get one single governor. I not get minister. I win 14 states. Then thief 2 states from me. Thief 2 states from me. And for 12, now them declare say I win. But even at that, I still win. So I go win again. We'll make this statement. NDC presidential candidate for the 2027 election, Peter Obi, now they make this statement. And to whom? To you, Nigerians. So say for those that talk, say, oh, no governor on your side, how can you win election? That one, no, now waiting to be say it up. But that's not all. Because the obedient movement, then don't they clamp against the NDC nomination of 2 haters of Obi, more like it. People where they oppose Peter Obi very well as the spokespersons of the NDC. Now, this one don't raise a lot of controversy. They don't complain a lot about why it could happen like this. And of course, drama still they go on. As for the Basbos, where be say people where the government though, the ADCO, then forget about everything we consigned. That is the ADC forget about opposing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Forget about the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the team too. They forget to deliver the good governance that they deliver. They say that only P2B now they discuss. In fact, person talking today, Nigerians, they tweet and today for social media say, the way you hear P2B talk, you would think he's the president of Nigeria. He focuses on the problem of Nigeria. Meanwhile, other candidates and the ruling party, they focus on him, P2B. Not true? Not true, you think so? Well, welcome to Updated Precious. Dr. Katch joins us in the studio. And here we'll bring on an update of all the things that happen. We will dissect this conversation and more, but make a quickly go just bar break. When I come back, we'll bring our guest and we'll begin to dissect the matter then one by fellow teammates also they come back. This. Evening, welcome to Updated Precious. Very quickly, joining us in the studio now, Dr. Katch of the Heritage House, and then he did with us inside the studio. Dr. Katch, good evening, and thank you so much for joining us. Good evening, sir. Can you hear us? I don't know if Dr. Katch can hear us. Dr. Katch, can you hear us, please? Dr. Katch, can you hear us, please? Dr. Katch, can you hear us, please?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. All right. You're welcome, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm happy to be here with you and your audience.
All right, sir. Okay, so let's get straight to the matter. People been define you yesterday. I don't know why they define you. They say somebody they spoil your market again. No, say they demarket your market. Well, say the kind hatred they use it demarket your market. It be like say person take person wife, no be just politics again. I beg you get any. I don't know why it is say they define yourself, no vex.
Then they find me because the trap where I set for them, so it take be.
How do you
anybody will go talk, I go remind and say these problems I had them in 2023. People ran to me and started telling me about my media strategy. I told them to leave it alone. I talking to you, served as special advisor to P2B on public affairs. And the strategy we use, they don't understand this. That strategy we use, I will deploy again in a different way. Let them keep talking about Peter. We thank them. We learned a strategy from the United States that the more people talk about you, the more you gain traction in the audio space. And there's nothing wrong with that. So let them continue to give us that audio promotion in the free public space. You can see how government tries to undermine the advantages that should accrue to us for the work we've done. New people keep coming. Some keep doubting who we are. But I want to remind them, this is the voice of the young generation of Nigerians. They seek a better country. P2B is just a symbol.
All right, here we go. That network thingy that we usually have issues with has started again. It's very, very unfortunate. I don't know if you can hear me, Dr. Katch. Oops, the network is at it again. Dr. Katch, can you hear us? It's gone again. It's gone. It's gone. We'd like to reconnect with him, but I did tell you what Peter Obi said, how he will win the election in 2027, and because he did it in 2026, he is in 2023. He is sure he's going to do it again in 2027. Dr. Katch, can you hear us, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Go ahead, sir, please.
Nothing has changed between 2023 and today. And I tell you, all the fundamentals that got the people to think about P2B are still there. So Peter simply tells Nigerians, use me as your vehicle to build a new country. That's what we're saying. So these other people simply say, no, there should be no new Nigeria. That what Nigeria they have and the way they are playing it is okay. We say, no, it's not okay. And that's what we're doing. Me and you last year started talks about Kenneth Okonkwo, and I told you, as the leader of the spokespersons of P2B, what happened. So the fact that he had an issue, a private issue, and Peter tried to help, he was expecting more from Peter. He left and went to Atiku. Atiku helped him. Fine. The same thing Peter suggested was exactly what Atiku gave him. Now,
Oh,
for you to
Peter,
work
not
with Peter,
wait. You know, say they speak in parables. You go good, look, we talk in clear terms. So you've been talk say that what he tell us last year. Say he asked Peter B for house rent money. Say na duplex he want rent,
yes,
and Peter B no give him.
yes,
So they start with flats.
flat.
So you mean say that the
He
same
wanted
flat?
money for a flat. When he met Atiku, he talked to Atiku. Atiku was sweet, nice, told him he would do. Atiku still gave him money for a flat. So,
Oh, give him money
because
for his.
why? Yeah, listen. And that's just so for you really to consider what is it that drives Kenneth? What brought trouble between him and us? Penny, money to rent a house. I don't tell Peter to pay me for house rent. Other people who work in the movement came in. People like Kenneth, because he is failure in the movie in the entertainment industry, he failed.
Oh no,
That's
sir,
why
he's
he
not a
came to
good
meet us
actor.
in the
He's a very good
political
actor.
space.
Yeah, he's a very good actor.
Kenneth Obi is a failed
Kenneth Okonkwo,
entertainment
not to be,
entrepreneur.
sir. It's
Kenneth
Okonkwo.
Okonkwo is a failed entertainment entrepreneur. He
Hey.
was a Kenneth is a pioneer of the Nigerian film industry, the local film industry. But some of the people who got there got successful. You can see the someone like who will I call now that hasn't made it big. Everybody that I have in mind have made it successful. Those who didn't make it very big played very very gently. That's how it is. Kenneth panicked, abandoned the entertainment industry, came to meet us in the political space. But Kenneth lacks depth. He doesn't have it. Nigeria roams a representative democracy. Kenneth from Enugu State. How can you come, an Igbo man, you want to work for a Fulani man, abusing the Igbo frontline candidate? What kind of human being are you? He doesn't understand. This is a hungry man. He is what Igbos call Onyagro, ndị na-abụ nri. That's the problem. He didn't understand what we're doing. You don't come and start begging for house rent. Now he begged for that is what got us into this mess. If you must come and do politics, better have a secondary source of income. If you come and jump into the politics and you have no supporting base that sustains you, you will become as challenged as Kenneth Okonkwo is. This is the problem we have. Who told you I don't have problem? I have 5 children. and I pay university fees, and I've trained them all through university, and I do all these things. Yet every day I'm on national television, not losing my conscience, knowing very well, like for example, during this period of national crisis when we are occupied by the United States Army. It's a matter of narratives, as I told you. Everybody can tell lies. Now we are in politics at a time when our country is challenged. You want to become like Kenneth Okonkwo? You know, Kenneth thinks it's like movie industry where they pay him money, give him a script, and he goes to act. No, politics is based on an intellectual understanding of the discussions within the public space. And the discussion right now, when Kenneth came to meet us, is about equity. Equity. Article started this discussion about equity in 2013, forcing him to form the MPDP. Use that to build a coalition with ACN, led by Tinubu, CPC, led by Buhari, AMPP, led by Ogbom, and then a faction of Abga, led by Rochas. And they formed that coalition called the APC, progressing the APC to a national political party that is inclusive and accepting the diverse aspirations of its membership became an issue. Buhari could not do this. Buhari instead started playing a game of nepotism, which Tinubu continued, for which I condemn Tinubu for his embrace of nepotism. These are serious issues. Because of that issue of equity, Kenneth Okonkwo didn't understand. He just came in. His own is give me money, I'll speak for you. I'm an actor. I have been successful in the entertainment. It's not true. Kenneth is a failed entertainment entrepreneur. And
So,
he
but a lot
came
of people,
in.
a lot of people will say that. Like somebody posted there, they said it's disappointing to hear that money for rent is the reason that Kenneth will abandon Peter Obi, and that is hard to believe. People are
You
saying
are
that they have,
saying this.
you have
You
evidence
see
to
your
this, that they
words
need
now.
evidence to it.
Your words are personal opinions. See, but it's a world where different people have different issues that can trigger them to fall. Could you
But
imagine if
you
Kenneth?
know what make her they talk say Peter Obi
Yes.
don't threaten, so he go sue. So and if now not be true, you they talk now, for instance, or if there is no evidence to corroborate your allegation, Kenneth Okonkwo fit also threaten saying go sue you for 100 billion instead of
I told you that last year. Let
mm,
Kenneth to sue me if the things I say are not true. Simple. I've
yeah.
said that we have started the period of suing. Okay, you understand? So let us play this game. I am staying it now, and I am telling Nigerians, urge Kenneth to sue me if I lie. That's all. We don't owe him nothing. He was not an original member of our movement. We started.
Eh, NEPA don't take lights. This cannot happen. Nah, no way. This cannot happen. Oh no, oh no. Dr. Katch joins us very soon once his network is clear. This is very hard to believe, just like a lot of people have said. Even though Dr. Katch don't talk this one before, so nobody the first time when they talk. For some of us, way they loyal to this platform, nobody the first time we hear when Dr. Katch they talk this one say that the reason we make it to call the vex of P2B this say because you know give her money for rent. So a lot of us don't hear him before, and nobody the first time we would hear him. We don't be used to Dr. Katch saying this. And just like he said, true to his words, he has said before that Kenneth should go ahead and sue him if he thinks he's lying, and we'll never see any litigation from Kenneth to prove I'm wrong. Now, speaking about Kenneth Okonkwo, I for just like me could just someone else called my attention to that video again today, and when I said this yesterday, perhaps I did not emphasize on it enough. It appears that there is more to the reason why he is angry with Peter Obi than just the fact that he's representing P2B's opposition, an opposition member, because the kind of anger, the level of anger and bitterness, you would be forced to think that what did this P2B eat him biscuit or he taking wife or girlfriend? Because the level of bitterness and anger use with which he speaks about P2B is like the kind of level of anger and bitterness that you used to speak about somebody who had once murdered your somebody who did you a grave harm, somebody who do you waiting they pay you well. And people are thinking that is this all politics or there may be more to this than politics? Well, while we're waiting Dr. Katch to join us, there is more to this. So, Nigerians, do you really believe that it may indeed, just like Dr. Katch stated, saying that money matter, now they cause this problem? The fact that P2B did not disburse cash to the level that they wanted or he wanted, that may be the reason for the level of hatred, or this level of hatred, as it were, that he feels for P2B. Make a text I play that in video again. We can understand what I mean by that level of hatred again. Just take a listen to that
corrupt APC
interview
trying
we
to
had with Channels
legislate and
Television,
litigate us
where
out
he
of
was really very
existence.
bitter.
We resisted them, and through the power of the collectivity, we are flourishing. You're talking about the renegades that left ADC, the coalition, to go into NDC. Sorry, I have just discovered something that is very disheartening. It is not just that they are going to, that anybody who is voting for NDC or P2B is voting for Tinubu. Anybody who is voting for NDC and P2B is voting for criminality. And I will prove it with facts. I will call names. There is one man called Obunike Ohebu, the House of Representatives aspirant, Newi North and Newi South, and Ekusigo local government from Anambra State. He sent an SOS to me, and he said that P2B is now the head of the criminality, that they were scammed in NDC. And he said, Pop went back to his people and made sure that every constituency produced one candidate so that they will not be scammed. But P2B told them that all of them, the aspirants, should go into the field, and that they thought they were going to have primaries. Remember, Sereka Dixon came out and said, once you pay your expression of interest form, you are not going to pay any money. When you are now the one that is nominated, that's when they will take nomination fee. And all of them ran into it. Then P2B and the leaders of the Southeast now went and told them, anybody who wants to be House of Rep person, after paying that expression of interest, must pay 10 million naira bribe, and Senate 20 million naira bribe. When they were
bribe to who?
Bribe to the NDC and the caucus. They call them caucus leaders in the Southeast. This was what he wrote it and sent to me, and sent me the receipt, because they told him he needed money to campaign for his presidency. Now, when they downplayed, they were told individually. So they thought they were now the chosen candidate, that maybe that is the nomination fee. When all of them paid, they discovered there were many. Then we are now told to go into the field for direct primary. And when they now went into the field, they thought that there was going to be genuine primary. And as they were in that field, killing themselves, P2B was in John Wood Hotel. He mentioned the hotel, writing the list of candidates. And after that, they submitted it. You know what he said? He said, I am not disappointed that I lost the ticket. I am rather disappointed that I invested my time, resources, and reputation in a process that is becoming increasingly opaque and inconsistent with the democratic principles it proclaimed. And this is another man from Enugu State, a highly political person, sent to me. And you know what he said? He said, I have a direct taste of the fraud called P2B. Recently in NDC.
But we must put that, yes.
NDC has become a national dialogue for criminality.
No, but just a moment.
Discussion of criminals.
Mr. Okonkwo, you do acknowledge that that was the testimony
corrupt APC trying to legislate and litigate us out of existence.
Mr. Okonkwo, you do acknowledge that that was the testimony of one person, and it's an allegation.
No,
you haven't investigated that.
Hold on.
To be able to say you did your own investigation,
yes,
and you found it to be true.
What did you know what Aisha said? He said they did not even give me, I'm not talking about level playing ground. They did not give me ground at all. He said it on TV. I'm talking about corroboration. A lot of them have said it. And you know why I'm annoyed? You said I did the investigation. I am the leader of ADC in Enugu State. The same people we fought that they will not extort the aspirants. They are the people that went to NDC and they started extorting the aspirants. NDC has come out with a statement trying to distance themselves from what is happening in the Southeast. And they said it is the caucus leaders in the Southeast that are responsible.
Yeah.
P2B from Anambra State, Okwesileeze Nwodo from Enugu State, Ugochukwu Onyema from Abia State, Achiku Denwa from Imo State, and what else is remaining?
Yeah, but don't you think that is?
Yes.
I mean,
Sam Ebon from
I'm not trying
Five
to
states in the Southeast.
exonerate
You know what
anyone.
I'm telling you? We want to bring new leadership in the Southeast because of leaders like this. That is why Southeast has been coming last in Nigerian politics. Southeast people are marginalized in the federal government. We fight to eat. And after that, some of our leaders are conning us and scamming us. I told them that Peter is going to scam them.
Yeah, but
That is a political con man. Look at what is happening.
I'm saying that again.
You will go to diaspora. I don't give shish, but you collect shish.
Mr. Koko, I think it's important.
People
I think
are
it's important
suffering.
to still put that this is an allegation. That is one. It is an allegation that it must be taken. And then two, some people will also say that isn't this more in the nature of how we play politics? Because we've seen that party in, party out, in spite of all the promises that are made, what we see is that the way the political actors still behave does not make us differentiate from one party to the other. Because most times the same people that people this party are the same ones that have transited to another party, and they carry their behaviors and their traditions alongside them. So don't you think that this is more about Nigerian politics rather than piling it on one person and saying that he's responsible for all that is going on within the party?
Malpe, I am the leader of ADC in Enugu State. Go and verify whether there is any aspirant that 1 naira was taken from. It is not about there's no Nigerian factor in this. It is because we have incompetent and corrupt leaders. And do you know the annoying thing? When they start coming out publicly to deceive the public that they are saints, that they are when they are absolute hypocrites. In NDC, it is the Southeast people that are crying most. Go and check it. And it is the testimony to their leadership. I said I experienced it firsthand in Enugu State. When we resisted them, they were the same people that went into NDC and they are perpetrating the criminality. You know, when I said it first, everybody was on my case. And I was saying they were.
So Dr. Katch, he said quite a lot. And he now said, yeah, P2B will say he doesn't give shishi. He doesn't give shishi. But he's been going, he goes to abroad and he begs people for money. That's what he did in 2023. There is an Igbo language he used that I cannot speak right now. The level of anger, you see the anger, it pain. Are you sure that it is just house rent issue that caused this thing? Because it appears that there may be more. You remember that he also said he's been tweeting and responding to people since yesterday, and he said he has a lot of dirt on P2B that he will reveal, things he knew about P2B while working as a spokesperson, that the P2B dares to try to force him to apologize or sue him, that he will release all those debts about him. You yourself don't work as spokesperson, so I don't know whether on your own debts go plenty too. So, and I'm wondering, sir, please, I like you. Let me take your thought on this.
I will simply tell you, human beings engage in the political process in a different form. You've seen other pictures and videos of Kenneth, where he is part of the Atiku staff in Atiku's house.
Yes.
You will not see me. You will never see me. You don't see me to this place. I work with him. I don't even need to talk to him because ideologically I understand what the issues are. I don't need to talk to Peter to reply in the public space. I didn't need to talk to Peter to tell you and your audience that Peter will run as a candidate for president in the elections. I know where we're going. I told you I would not wait. I waited. And Peter went, he saw, as he said, and I told him he will come out. He has made this statement in place, he will come out. So when you understand the ideological positions and strategies that your group and your caucus are with, you don't need anybody to tell you. I understand where we're going to. I understand why we are struggling for a new country. I understand the intellectual needs of these issues. You saw what I did. I played the Fulani monologue for. At the end of the day, the US Congress agreed with me verbatim, everything I said over 10 years. Play the videos. Kenneth lacks depth. He doesn't know what's going on. This is just an actor. Give him a script to come and be making noise. He lacks the intellectual depth. Kenneth doesn't know what's going on in Nigeria. These are just children looking for who will give them money so that they can go and talk. We are now arguing about equity. As I said earlier, equity started by Atiku in 2013. That was why he formed MPDP, built a coalition with other people, and it became APC. And we are saying, fine, your equity war has woken us up. The North has had 8 years. After 8 years, it comes to the South. Now, Atiku goes to recruit Southerners, Dele Momodu, Kenneth Okonkwo, so that they can be talking. You will see a Northerner talking all this is for him. Oh. This is an ideological argument between the North and the South. He buys cheap Southerners. Look at him.
Ah, Omo, village people, you have to live this life today. Oh. What's going on? Please, 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 please. We don't need network issue today at all. We need the network to be clear today. I don't understand what's going on with this network issue. Please, the network has to be clear enough today so that we can have this conversation. Ah, oh my goodness. We need the network to be good, please. What's going on? What's going on? Oh dear. Sincere apologies. I don't know why this is happening repeatedly. Ah, okay. Well, we hope Dr. Katch rejoins us very, very soon so that we can get on this conversation. Because we actually have a lot to talk about. We're going to address the video that P2B, where he spoke about winning the 2026 election, 2027 election, irrespective of how they people show up. Saying we win, say nothing will make a no. Let me take that video where he said that. We'll wait for Dr. Katch very quickly.
Wait.
It doesn't matter whether 36 governors are with the president.
Okay. It doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter.
Why?
I didn't have one governor in the last election, and I won 12 states. 12 states. Even after they've stolen two from me, I won 12 states.
We're going to.
We have.
Let me stop this.
Some of these are people are just not part of the
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, as I'm saying, this country is at a historic point where we are right now. We've never been before. And I think we can resolve this crisis through equity. Nigeria is currently engaged in a war of equity. There are those like the Fulani who seek to seize Nigeria. Hence, they've launched a jihad with 30,000 militiamen to seize the country. If the Yoruba and the Igbo can come together and think, of course, that will require that Tinubu stops his nepotism, the way he's extended Buhari's bad behavior. If they can work together, I think the Fulani will listen. If the Yoruba and Igbo can work together, they can save Nigeria and tell the Fulani to stop what they're doing. But that's not. Kenneth doesn't understand this. Kenneth Okonkwo and Dele Momodu, you can see what it is. Dele Momodu was begging to be made vice president. Kenneth Okonkwo wants to be part of party. These are just hungry people looking at the political process for engagement in economics. talking about ideological reasonings that seems to look at the country's current existential crisis as a problem that we must all put our heads to and have a way to resolve it. And I believe the Nigerian project is currently undermined by the intentions of the Fulani to seize everywhere and even levy war against Nigeria. And that's why I tell you every day, it's wrong for anybody to say, give them the presidency at the middle of a war, real war with 30,000 militia men. The US are already here on the ground. Look at Kenneth fighting Peter. Who gave him that? You hire an actor, come and act for you. That tells you article story is just
So, Dr. Katch, are you insinuating that he's doing what he's doing at the behest of Atiku Abubakar? That is, Atiku send that made do this thing with
that is all. That is all.
Ah, no
Kenneth,
way.
the reason for the desperation is that Peter left. I told you last year I will not follow Peter to ADC. I will stay, he will come out. And I'll stay that he came
You
out.
refused to
I told
follow.
you.
You refused to follow, and you said it. You were right.
Yes.
You refused
I
to.
said that thing is because I understand the process. I know where we are. The country is at the edge. Nigeria could spill over, and it's no good. We've never been where we are today, and all hands should be on deck. Right now, this war is real, and I'm not going to pretend I don't understand it. Tomorrow, our children will say, Daddy, what did you do at this time? Let it be on record from the things I've done that is today captured on the internet that I raised my voice at this particular period. I didn't become cheap person like Kenneth Okonkwo, failed actor who now came into politics not as a reasonable political intellectual. You remember he failed. He was working for Buhari 2015. He said
It was
if
a member
the
of the APC,
Southeast
yes.
does not follow Buhari and APC, that the Southeast will be vanquished. The Igbos ignored him. Look at Kenneth. He came to join me and others as we were forming the obedient movement. He loved the momentum that we had. That was all. He's not part of us. We started this thing from the PDP as a reaction to Atiku's refusal to respect zoning. After 8 years of the presidential pendulum being in the north, we now talk from 8 years in the north, it should come to the south. Atiku refused. And that was how me and my friend Doinukwe started what we started, a rebellion in the party. And we found a candidate in Peter Obi. Peter first refused, but after audience, Peter agreed. And that's why I said, let people understand we had organic followership. And I'm grateful to Nigerians for that. But it's simply based on honest storytelling. We were honest. Peter was the only person that traveled to IDP camps. Atiku didn't go there. Neither did Tinubu.
He mentioned that he said he went to Southern Kaduna and he had to go to church with some of the people that were victims. And that is after Babacha accused him that he's never spoken about insecurity. He said he went to Southern Kaduna and that he had to worship in church, even though he's not a Christian. He said it though, sir.
Saying it is talk. We went to Plateau, went to Benue. He didn't go anywhere. We know it now. We kept the record. Anybody can lie to you. Anywhere you go to, the press covered it. Let him bring the pictures of wherever he went to. He didn't go anywhere. They didn't go anywhere. So we went, and that sent the message to the people of the Middle Belt that we are with them in this jihad. And that's it. Till tomorrow, I'm against the jihad. I seek a Nigeria where everybody will find accommodation. Nothing has changed. The Fulani war across the Sahel is still on. The war in Nigeria is still on. It's currently raging in the southwest with the kidnappings. Those who try to lie to say these are communal crashes. What has school and the principal got to do with your farmers' headers clashes? Why you kill people? You go to a school, you kidnap children, you behead their head teacher. What has that got to do with farmers' headers clash? Those are stories told to deceive people. And I refused. And Peter refused. We saw the crime and we called it for what it is. Till tomorrow, Atiku is afraid to offend the patrons and promoters, and of course, the financiers of the jihad. That's why he would not criticize the jihad. Atiku will not criticize the jihad, nor will he visit an IDP camp in Benue or Plateau State. I dare him to do that. I've been saying this since 2023. He will never do that. Peter did it. It was when Peter did it that Gumi said that Muslims should not vote for anybody who will fight their jihadists. The jihadists today are the terrorists that you see that were imported to come and seize land in Nigeria. That's all. They seek to seize land and then expand the space for the Sokoto Caliphate. That's all. That's what it is.
And you're
That's
saying
what
that
it is.
are you insinuating that Atiku is in support of this kind of attitude or this kind, whatever the mission is?
As a Muslim, no Muslim will openly oppose expansionist protocols of the caliphate. No Muslim will openly oppose that. You call it genocide, ethnic cleansing. It's simply intended to expand the circumference of the caliphate. That's what it is. We are fighting to free ourselves and grow our country as a nation. No, the caliphate intends to build settler colonial entity. People can come from Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, go to Plateau, Benue, Niger, Nasarawa, seize land, or even Kaduna, and live there. Kill the people, take over their land, and settle and colonize the place. That's settler colonialism. And they have authorization for who they are from the recognition they gain from the Sultanate. This is the problem. It should be one country. The soldiers wrote decrees to give advantage to the Sultanate, and that's what we're suffering today. So I think whatever you see in the Constitution and you said you don't like it, these things are done for Muslims. No, it is done for the Sultanate. It is done for the Sultanate, and that's our problem. So Nigeria has a struggle, you know.
All right, sir. All right, sir. Sincere apologies. Network just gave me they dealt me a heavy blow. So you mentioned some things about this insecurity, and I thought to please bring something to your notice because recently it is some group of young men we didn't catch for somewhere around I think Ikorodu, Lagos State, and this that group of young men will be say they're from Sudan and Chad. They are many in number. They just catch them, and there was a particular army officer who had mentioned that when they work for army, say during election like this, you go see trucks when they stop for checkpoints, we carry a lot of people from anywhere they enter inside Nigeria. And it looks like this is happening again. And for us to see people in Ikorodu, they're just getting into Nigeria, and they are not Nigerians. They're from Sudan and Chad. What's in they find for Nigeria? Just like that. Do you think that the allegations that this may be all charged or prepared or preparation for the election not true, or maybe not just people they overthink cancer?
No. This is a continuation because of the war across the Sahel. Fulanese who are displaced in Mali, in Burkina Faso, in Niger, in Chad, in Senegal, are encouraged to come into Nigeria visa-free. It was started under the Buhari administration. I don't know if it has been stopped. That was the idea. Instead of Buhari and the other West African leaders to work together to implement the 2015 peace agreement in Mali, Buhari asked the people, the refugees, to come to Nigeria. They came. Finding them land legally became a problem. That's why you see a lot of them now going to different communities. They just go and stay and leave. Some will come there with their bike and start a new life. Some will go into the bush in a state where you don't know who they are. And they live in the middle of the bush. They are not Nigerians. Some take guns to seek land in places with water, like in Benue, like in Plateau, like in Taraba, like in Katsina, Zamfara, Sokoto, like in Kaduna, like in Niger State. And that's what you're seeing today. And the problem persists because there are Fulani leaders in politics who aid this, to the extent of even aiding the militias, as you saw in Sokoto, Katsina, and Zamfara. And the involvement of people like the Honorable Minister of State for Defense. So these problems are big. The leaders were not able to negotiate peace in the areas where the wars produce a lot of refugees, like in First Central African Republic. They were the ones that first came upstairs to the Benue State seeking for land. Gabriel Suswan did not give them land, and they tried to kill him. Then, when Buhari became president in central Mali, the war between the Fulani and the Dogons, instead of Buhari and the envoy he sent to achieve peace, when President Goodluck was being sent there as peace envoy for ECOWAG, he couldn't make peace. Buhari now told the refugees to come to Nigeria. And in coming to Nigeria, he couldn't get land because he was fraudulently seeking land through some phony legislations, like, grazing reserve, Fulani colonies, Ruga, conservation for underground and surface water. All those were fraudulent antics by Buhari to gain land to resettle those people you're talking about now. We couldn't get land. Nigerians didn't get, so they now devised a strategy of using violence to take land. But they want the best land, and the best land occupied by Christians. In Benue, by Christians. In Plateau, by Christians. In Kaduna, by Christians, like the Kaka and the Pensa in Gembu on the Mambula Plains. And that's why, and when government kept quiet, the government's complacency now became the trigger to understand government complicity in the killings. Government complacency and even outright aid through actions of the Buhari administration and the complacency of the Tinubu administration simply pointed to complicity in the killings. When the Americans complained, Tinubu was in denial. The Americans landed soldiers here by force. Today, Nigeria is under occupation. It has never happened before. And some of us are happy because Tinubu and incompetence dealing with the Fulani crisis was only arrested by the American invasion and subsequent occupation of this area. So some people tell me, why haven't the thing stopped? I said, no. This thing took more than 10 years for Buhari to do, destroy our security services. The Americans are here. They're doing a lot. They're surgically, tactically doing a lot of work. I'm happy that the Americans are here. You know, it's not when you start applying ointment to a
That the
wound that
healing
it
will take
heals.
place.
It takes
All right,
time.
sir.
It heals.
So someone did ask a question. It says, "Do we need stronger borders or just and immigration laws? Do you think we just require stronger borders and immigration laws? And why is Tinubu not implementing that or thinking towards that direction?"
I think Tinubu's strategy on the presidency is just to make economic gains. I don't think Tinubu came to govern
Really?
because the number one problem is insecurity. What has he done? It took the Americans to force a reaction to the Fulani menace. And this is the problem. So for me, Tinubu failed even those who thought, I, I was one of the persons who thought maybe Tinubu would be good. But I don't know. I'm watching. Maybe his strategies, when he gets a second term, then he will start to now do the work. You see, the country, the Nigerian project is not only challenged, it has crumbled. We don't need to deceive ourselves. It's like Mele Kiari, the NMPC former boss. He was yesterday at the Senate and they were talking to him. He was trying to force them to see him as an honorable member, a thief, forcing senators to recognize him as an honorable person. And that was why you saw when Oshomole told him that he's just a thief. You know, he's a manager in a place of fraud. So,
But
you
did you
know,
know
that
here
what
that the
they,
Senate has changed that? Senate has now said that that's not their position. And Adams now said he said it because he was angry.
it
It
is
doesn't mean
not Senate's
that
position and it cannot be Senate position. It is Senator Adam Oshemole's position. Senate did not say that as the Senate of the Federal Republic.
that's what I'm saying. That
Those were words.
The Senate has responded about it and said no, 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 they don't agree with what Adam said.
Listen, it doesn't forget those. Akpabio may want to be sweet and nice to play well in the administration because it's an indictment to the president. If what Osemole says is true, as we know it to be true, the failure of President Tinubu to probe the NPC, you should understand that's actually the reason why the Senate will want to deny, because it challenges the thoughts of Tinubu thinking everybody should accept that things are okay. They're not okay. Mele Kyari served during the most economically corrupt period in our country's history under Buhari. It's sad if Tinubu would just allow it to stay that way. No, don't just arrest Malami, CD, because they got into buying ADC from Musu for Atiku to use to challenge you. No. Look holistically at the record of that administration. If not, we will see you as accepted, as you said, that you're Buhari, Buhari is you. That's what he said. That
210 trillion naira missing.
can
Until
you
now,
imagine?
it was like this. We
And
don't know.
Tinubu had not said a thing. That's exactly what I'm saying. Those things that happened in NMPC, Tinubu has not asked the question. We know. If he's serious about asking questions, we know how the interrogations go for us to think that he's serious. But so far, he's not. He's not. Tinubu doesn't fight corruption at all. You know, doesn't even fight the insurgency. He is busy arguing with Americans and being in denial about the killings. This is not proper. This is
Okay,
not
sir.
proper.
So I like us to face the business of the day before I open phone line. Make we know just the talk. So here now waiting your candidates talk. and people don't dey react.
Mate.
well.
It doesn't matter whether 36 governors are with the president.
Okay. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Why?
I didn't have one governor in the last election, and I won 12 states. 12 states. Even after they've stolen two from me, I won 12 states. We have, by making Abuja state, we now have 37 states. Because that's what the judgment of the Supreme Court showed. That is not answer. Senator Rabi Kwankwaso won one.
One state.
Kano.
Kano's, yeah.
APC, PDP, and Labour all won 12 states each. And in it, I lost two by the process of rigging. So I would have had 14. So it doesn't matter whether they took all the governors. What is important and what this campaign election is going to be all about is about how to make Nigeria work for the.
All right. So he's speaking to the reality of Nigerians. What's your response about waiting in talk? He said in win actually 14 states. They take 2 states from him or rig him out of the 2 states and give him 12 states. Even at that, he won the election. He so claims this is not the first time he's saying he won the election. He's been saying it and he's not, but he's doubling down on it. You know, they stop to talk saying he won the election. So people be the express fear. So you don't get a single governor. Almost all the 36 states governors, then they with Tinubu. How you go take win this election? He say no matter if all of them like me, then they say no get one governor before. Still win the election. What's your take on that before we go to other issues concerning the election?
What he's saying is something all of us knew to be true. He had no governor. He won the election in 2023. And the government can't switch off the server. And when we say why, call the to say no, that's a glitch. And they manually wrote something, a result, announced it, and then tell us to go to court.
They did.
As we got to court, they now force the judiciary to announce those things. So, for me, I do not, because I know these truths, are the reasons why the government has been very, very frightened about P2B as a candidate at election. And that's why they've done everything they want to do to make sure he's not on the ballot. But he's on the ballot. And then, as he's on the ballot, of course, we also have challenges that comes with P2B as a candidate. He's not only a problem to the party fielding him because of the unruly behavior some he has always had. This is a fact. When we started in 2022, a lot of people joined us organically. And those organic people who met us, Kenneth Okonkwo was one of them. When they came, we received them. And we continue to play the game. And as I would say, the rest is history. I want to tell you, nothing has changed. It is the young people that want to have a new country. P2B was only a tool they used for their struggle. Those young people are stronger today in Nigeria than they are before. Those young people are far more fixated on the truth today than they were before. Nothing has been done to get those young people who happen to be the best educated generation of young people in Nigerian history. And that's why they are this demanding. The old people are afraid of them. They don't want free and fair elections. Peter knows that those young people who are with him in the last election are still with him because nothing has changed. If anything, things have gotten worse. The Nigerian project have suffered fundamental wreckage. The state doesn't exist anymore. And that's the reasons why it's very good that we sustain this progression. I have no iota of doubt that Peter Obi will do better in the next year's election than he did last year.
So you do
And that's
not
what we're
think that
asking for, a free and fair election.
so you
Yes?
do not think that his support base has reduced?
No. What it has done, it
Some
has
people they vex say
increased.
because he moved from party to party because of that. They
No,
don't
no,
ask.
no, no, no.
Say moving from
Moving
party
from party to
to
party is a
person
consequence.
when no stable. So they don't. They say they
No,
don't.
no,
Dey
no, no, no. Listen, you will stay in one party under normal situations. The Nigerian situation is abnormal. And as you get to a party and the government comes in and tears it apart by sponsoring crisis, you keep moving. Until now, we've gotten a party formed by a former governor, a sitting senator, and we're happy that he has given us this platform for Peter to use.
So
Of
very
course, we
quickly.
will also tell him that it's not easy, that working with us comes with its difficulties. We have very, very unruly support base, and this is a fact. It's like the support base of Liverpool, or that of Manchester, or that of Chelsea in River State, Port Harcourt. Chelsea people will fight on every bus stop. You know the truth. I'm a Port Harcourt boy, just as you know it. So this is the way this thing. You cannot blame Chelsea, the football club, for the behavior of Chelsea supporters in Port Harcourt. That's wrong. That's wrong.
So are you saying that those who blame P2B for the behavior of obedience may be wrong?
Of course, obedience are a pool of Nigerians. Some of them are mad. Some are crazy. There was a time me and Peter went to Lagos, and all we went was to go and apologize. I said, look, oh God, this is not going to work. Don't do this again. We can't be going to apologize for people that this crowd that we don't know is an organic crowd, face. Let's just keep moving. Allow the crowd to be what they are. But of course, as a leader, lead through example so that they will know. And that's why you see he's been very peaceful. I am happy that he's gone to court. He took my friend Deji to court. He also took my person, Kenneth Tokunko, to court.
But people are saying
It
that,
is
that people don't they talk saying they're intolerant of criticism. Say
no, 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 no. If Peter doesn't go to
say he
court,
could be
no, no, it's not
authoritarian
true.
president if he enter power. People can't say this
No,
will not be criticism. Defamation they different from criticism. But
it's
others they
not
talk
true.
say
It's
no,
not.
no, 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 no. Say you
No,
don't want
listen, listen.
criticism.
Whatever it is, if Peter doesn't go to court, the depth of desperation from the state and people like Atiku. You remember, I was telling you here it will happen. Once it happened, they felt their world have fallen apart. But somebody like me, I told you on this particular program.
You said the day that in fact when P2B had not even declared, he told us before he declared that Peter told
Yes,
you that he's going to go
yes,
to NDC, that you told him
yes,
that you will not go
yes,
with him. In
exactly.
fact, you said that he also met you together with Erufai in
Yes.
said it.
Me
Yeah.
and him, Peter and Erufai, we welcome Erufai in Owerri. Me and him, we welcomed him. Next, me and Peter in Enugu, we spoke and he told me privately, and I said, no, I will not follow. And when he got there, a lot of us didn't follow him. Me, I didn't follow him. Pat Tommy didn't follow him. Governor Alex Oti didn't follow him. Namadi Usman didn't. A lot of us didn't follow him. I personally told you on this program that it will not work. But Peter said he was told you can't be outside and demanding something from people inside the hall. You seek it, go into the hall.
Oh dear, here we go again with another network glitch. Here we go
Ask
again.
people and see how they will react to your request. If your request is okay for them, they will listen. But if they do not want your ways, you will understand. And that was what Peter did. Peter went in, and I told you on this program, he has gone in, he will go in. I will not follow him. You said, why? I said, he will come out. Because I know, I grew up in the north. I'm a northerner. Yes, even though biologically I am from the south by birth. Nina Grima Arewa. So I'm a northerner. And I know this issue, and I know the fundamental issues. And when the North was crumbling, I was happy. So I was in Abuja, and I was telling the country, nobody ever spoke about the Fulani issue more than me. I was the single longest commentator on the Fulani monologue in Nigeria in the past 15 years. No one has ever done that. And I did that at risk to my reputation, my career, and my personality. But I knew I had to tell the truth because, as my friend Dino says, you speak the truth, you'll die. You don't speak the truth. So let's go speak the truth. So that record we said, when we were challenged, this is what we did. And that's what I've done. Peter agreed with me, and we continued, and we're still there. The war has become real. I was telling people the Fulani war across the Sahel is real. When it bettered in Nigeria, the Nigerian government, because it was itself undermined, captured, and corrupted, did not have any reaction towards the war. It took the Americans to fly in to stop the Fulani advance. And the Fulani are right now moving to the southwest. And somebody asked me on the TV program 2 days ago, and I said, maybe it's a good thing that the Yorubas are not suffering like the people in the far north.
Oh, good for
You know, when you carry a coffin in a distance place, people might think it's just a log of wood. But when the thing occurs to them in their village, they will know, yes, their relations have died. And that's how you see the truth about what they feel at the loss of life. Why
Why do
should
you
we
say
be
that?
quiet? Why
Why do you
should we
say
be?
why do you say that? Do you say that they've been quiet? Do you think they've been quiet about this?
Yes, 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 yes. They have been quiet in the southwest to the extent that Lagos State refused to join Amoteku. Don't you understand that? When Ibadan move talks, Lagos talks, the Southwest agrees. But Ibadan said yes, Amoteku, Lagos refused. And that's why Amoteku was undermined. Who did it? President Tinubu. And look at now, the Southwest is challenged security-wise. And now people are talking to him. And you had Fayoshe talking foolishly that it is Makinde. That how can Makinde go and organize with Islamists to come and start killing people in Oyo State? That's madness, pure madness. We should understand that history would remember where we are, where we were, and what we did, plus what we said during this period when our country is this challenged. We have never been where we are. Not even the Civil War was this bad.
All right, sir.
Nigerians have died.
So some people they talk. So speaking about Peter Obi and the possibility for him to win the 2027 election, people they talk say it no go dey that easy for him. First of all, that Tinubu may not allow a free and fair election the level he wants it. First of all, people they say the Electoral Act has been amended to suit him. First of all, you don't commit falsification of um, results as a way to litigate the election outcome. Meaning that whether on a saying get result or you don't get result, now waiting people they talk with that, not be later campaign. Say that one no matter again. It's no longer a case whether you see genuine result or not. It's no longer a case for which you would have to seek for the prosecution of the election results because it's now out. The electoral act don't state say that will not be any reason again for you to litigate the outcome of the election. And then secondly, the whole thing that happened with the way the electoral act was gauged to more like stifle political parties, opposition political parties, with getting their primaries done, direct primaries, consensus, the stiff timeline and all that, they say it was deliberately done to disenfranchise opposition political parties to the benefit of the ruling party. And then with other things, so that we'll see MC Olo must still hold on to NURTW, even though when courts don't tell them how many times, say not be you be the person winner. And they don't even order courts, industrial courts, appeal court, don't order Marwa, say make you go take over that position. I mean, I go come on Marwa for there. Say, okay, no be you. Come out from there. Meanwhile, MC Olomo says, according to what people are saying, that it is only Tinubu that can tell him to leave that place and he will leave. And remember, NURTW, now the vehicle, now the umbrella union who did use transport electoral materials. So do you not think that there is a reason? And opposition parties are quiet over that. And as I speak to you right now, Nigerians are complaining that their details are being removed from INEC portal. You're registered. You have what did they call them, PVC, but you log your details into INEC, you cannot see it again. It disappeared. People who are even going through the registration process or continuous registration process, then go. If then there 50 people, INEC go attend to only 4 or 5. Say network no day. They frustrate the effort and deadline will soon reach. So with all of this, how do you think it will be possible for any opposition to win B2B with all these subtle frustrations? If these are deliberate, if they are, I'm not saying they are.
In my village, there's an adage that says, you do not run away from war because of the fear of casualties. Nigerians did not become afraid of agitating for a better country despite Abacha's ways. The last time we were here was during the Abacha era. So under Tinubu, we're back to the same Nigerian citizen seeking to pocket the country. Of course, you know what happened the last time with Abacha. Abacha passed on, and that process was aborted. So Tinubu is trying to replicate what Abacha tried to do, to refuse to
Sincere apologies, sir. Not that network thing again.
react to this. The country is reacting to it. So those things you say, if we're going to be considering them as a hindrance, then nobody will plan for tomorrow. It doesn't matter. As I said earlier, the adage in my village says, communities and nations do not run away from war because of the fear of resultant casualties. No. You go in. You go in. That's how we went in and we defeated Abacha. So Tinubu is not an issue. Tinubu would not stay forever. What he wants to do, because of Nigeria's diversity, he would not find the peace to do it. If he wants to undermine the processes, the eyes of the world are currently on Nigeria. That's what situates my joy. The eyes of the world, especially through the United States, are currently in Nigeria. And you know the history of places that the US have been to. What ended the end result? Who brought
But there
this
are people who are
about?
saying that
The war.
the US presence may even help him win, because if he lets US have their way, then they would also ensure that they support him to win. For people who talk say what they lie, I don't I believe it's not the truth. Say in be their in they work with the US. Saying be waiting me that's what we call them
Good.
again.
Listen to yourself. If he lets the US have their way, US have their way. That I've also told somebody. That is a consequence of the managers of the assets, the intelligence access program. We already know that Tinubu is a CIA asset. So it is the managers of the assets program that will determine what they will do with Tinubu. But of course, we know where my own concern is the country. Okay, people are thinking about election. No, I'm thinking about Nigeria on the long term, getting well. If Tinubu likes wins, let him win to do those things which we understand the man that they've been sort of killed. That's what I am asking. But if I believe, as I have seen, that he has not set purpose towards in placing protocols that will actually help Nigeria to become freer, and our security much better than it is now, and to be sure that the Fulani militia are smashed. The only language the Fulani militia understand is violence, force. If you don't kill them, they will continue to do what they're doing audaciously as they have done before, so that they can overrun our country. So nobody should take the U.S. Coming to Nigeria lightly. I am very happy for it. I am grateful that the U.S. came here. Of course, those who are sponsors and patrons of the terrorism know very well that I'm against their actions, I'm against their quest, I'm against the objectives. That's why I support the U.S. boots on Nigerian soil.
So,
So
so
for
you not
me,
believe say somebody like Donald Trump go fit come to any agreement with President Tinubu so that he go complete in second term? You don't believe?
well, Tinubu, listen, you're talking about term. I'm talking about the country. You're talking about second term. If Tinubu will tomorrow start doing the things that I expect, of course I will support him. You heard me well. If Tinubu will from tomorrow morning start doing the right things for the country so that the country can prosper, and me as a senior
And what
citizen,
and
and
what
I
are those
see
right
it,
things?
one, being accountable for the monies that we earn as a country. Is giving so far more than 72% of the infrastructure contracts to a company that his son sits on its board, Shaguris Enterprise. He has not accounted for the borrowings. We've not seen any accounting. Those are the things I seek. He has to stop his southwest versus northwest strategy of ignoring the rest of the country in infrastructural projects. Because let me be clear, if the idea of labor intensive infrastructure project is also to provide stimulus in economies that are challenged. When you give those kind of contracts that you give only to Kanu, Kaduna, Lagos, and Ibadan, it's wrong. The country is generally challenged. The labor intensive infrastructure projects are normally given by governments to spur jobs. And then the earnings from such labor intensive jobs will help force a trickle down within such local economies. Does Tinubu want to tell me that the labor intensive infrastructure projects being given to Kanu, Kaduna, Lagos, and Ibadan, that we in this all this nothing for the and I condemn the actions, so I reject it and I refuse to accept it. Tinubu has not been very fair to the people where the hydrocarbons are located. That's just the truth. Why you get the money, the hydrocarbon money from the old eastern region, and you spend the money only in the old western region and the northern region, and the east don't get nothing. That is unfair. So that's one of the things I expect. If he does such things, becomes responsible in accounting for the monies, what else do I want? The essence that I seek, Peter Obi, is so that we can have a governance structure that is available to the aspirations of Nigeria's diversity, but not a government that will embrace and then use nepotism as a fundamental objective of its own workings. I do not think such things are proper. Any government that uses nepotism as its own governance protocol, I condemn and I reject and I will refuse to accept. So
Okay, sir.
if Tinubu can change from tomorrow morning to become a Nigerian president, what else are we looking for? We seek a better country. I seek a better Nigeria.
Okay, sir. So, very quickly, I had this mad argument yesterday on the show. I said, make a gossip give you. This was a big gossip where we're doing. So, while on the show, a lot of people were commenting and people were calling in and talking. And one of the callers mentioned that P2B is not any better than any of the politicians, especially Tinubu, that he's trying to oust, something in that line. Because I have noticed that this is always like the method of criticism of all the political presidential aspirants recently. Instead of focusing on the qualities of each of them and waiting them don't talk, say they will do, and their ability based on the antecedents we didn't get before, the ability to fit do those things. We'd rather just focus mostly on assassinating characters. And mostly, it becomes more on the attack than any one of them. That at least among the three leading candidates, Atiku, him, and Tinubu, people forget about whatever it is that they have to think about Tinubu. The fact that maybe the governance is not working well. They even forget that, oh, excuse me, oh, there is allegation somewhere in the US waiting. There are issues around results. There are issues around what his first 30, 40 years was about that Nigerians don't know. People forget about that and they focus on P2B. And then this person went on to talk about, oh, is it not the same P2B? What did he do in Anambra State? He went to invest states fund in a company, in a bank where he's a shareholder so that he'll make profit from it. And then Panama Papers reports. I'm not telling you to to respond to these because I can respond to all of this because I was able to do my independent research and I have facts to respond to all this. But in all of this criticism about P2B, mostly, oh, he jumps from party to party. Because of that, he's incapable. Oh, two, he has Panama paper reports. The fact that he invested his money in a tax haven. His money, not be say person money loss. His own money for tax haven. Where he be say no go pay too much tax. Now he be saying. Not be say he thief money. There is no evidence that he has stolen money from Anambra State or any other government establishment. And then three, the fact that what's that third thing? Yeah, those things are what. So, what do you say to people who would rather, instead of them to focus on the capacity based on the past antecedents of people who have led them before, stolen their commonwealths, people where, according to what you talk now, prefer profligacy and impunity rather than giving then account to they accountable to Nigerians. I really would love to know what your response to them would be. And I think Network has voted Dr. Katch out. I can't wait for him to rejoin us so that he would respond to this. Dr. Katch, can you hear us, please? Oh dear, this network. Dr. Katch, can you hear us? Okay, so let's just put him out again. Okay, well, at the meantime, phone lines are open. Please, let's have you join the conversation. Yeah, 0817029407. But it's better for you to click on the link on the pin post and join the conversation via the link. Please, as long as we make a room for Dr. Katch to join at any time his network boots him out. So let's have them join the conversation. So phone lines are open very quickly. Let's do well to join the conversation. Click on the link on the pin post. It's already highlighted, so you can join the conversation. And let's speak intelligently and let's talk politics wisely and intelligently as people who are informed, right? Okay, so phone lines are open. Please click on the link on the pinned post and get straight into the studio to join the conversation. Whilst we wait for Dr. Katch to rejoin us, let me quickly let you in on more stuff that's going on in Nigeria. June 12 is Nigeria's foremost democratic milestone. ADC is saying so. Tomorrow on June 12, so they're reacting to that. Nigeria records highest crude production, exceeds OPEC's quota. And this is huge. After 11 months, the most we've had, most production we've had in 11 months. And this is commendable. So we wish to make it continue like this. Now, waiting a lot of people they wish. Now, let me quickly run on this. Obedient movement calls for unity after NDC primaries, reaffirms support for Peter Obi Kwankwaso ahead of 2027 election. They reacted. Oh, and I forgot to run by by Dr. Katch too. The rejection of the NDC spokespersons by the Obedient movement. So the Obedient movement are strongly against the spokespersons hired by the Obedient movement. That is Theo Abu and Brian Dennis as spokespersons to the NDC, and they have rejected it. So the National Democratic Congress has found itself, of course, at the center of a raging political storm following its decision to appoint controversial social media personalities, Phil Abu Agada and Brian Dennis, to lead its media and communication departments. Now, the appointments have triggered an immediate and more like a ferocious rebellion from the obedience movement. Uh, One of the formidable team of the youth-driven support base of Peter Obi, and they are speaking strongly against that. And let's see what we have there very quickly. So the appointments have, in series of coordinated responses, key factions of the obedient structure formally rejected the appointment, warning that the party is alienating its most crucial voting bloc ahead of the 2027 elections. And most of them are saying that if you appoint people who are against Peter Obi, who never believe in his dream, who see him as a no do well or never do well person based on their past comments about this person. So, how do you expect them to speak in his favor as their spokesperson? Now, in a series of coordinated responses, key factions, of course, rejected this. Some, some are saying that this is more like adding fuel to injury. Some prominent social media influencers and added P2B supporters broke long-standing silence on the issues and spoke vehemently against it, that they were not at all. So let me bring in some participants while we wait for Dr. Katch to rejoin us. Prestige, you're welcome, and MC, you're welcome. Thank you so much. While we wait for Dr. Katch to rejoin us,
Yeah.
this network issue and a village Kosan. You're welcome to the conversation.
Good evening, Precious. Good evening,
Thank you
Precious.
so much. Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Yeah. You know, this is the best. This is like this is not the fall. It fall in hand. Seriously.
You know, I know she'll say forehand. I'm sorry to say, and
No, no.
I wish Dr. Katch can
Let
talk
me.
about
Let me.
it.
I know. I will. I'm going to ask him some questions regarding that. So let me.
But
Let
honestly
me.
speaking, I think you guys can be quite a handful to handle, and you have to be
You
frank with
wait now. You wait. Let me explain a bit why I feel
it.
that
Okay.
is overstepping his boundaries. You understand? He's overstepping his
But I did in
boundaries.
house, so I'm not going to tell her saying the overstep boundary for
No,
no
no,
house.
no, 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 no. Technically, he might say let me just say it's not his house, it's a platform, and it's for all Nigerians. The platform was created for Nigeria to serve Nigeria. Technically, it's not his property. You're getting my point. So it's for Nigerians. So the reason the platform was created is to serve Nigeria. So even he himself is a tenant inside as well. So we need to tell ourselves the truth. When you see the people that has brought light into that house, you should appreciate them. So not coming to say you are the most qualified to run as to run as the president or
No,
whatever.
I think you took him out of context, and that's the problem we have. And that's why I thought that whilst Aisha was it's entitled to responding to that conversation, I also think that I watched that interview from beginning to end. I had to take my time to watch it and over again. What context did he make that what do they call it, statements? He said Charles told him that, I mean, that more like presented the issue to be like the obedience have done NDC a favor by coming into the party. And that's why he said that no, nobody did each other a favor. We're all doing ourselves a favor. Because without a platform, the obedience will not be able to have a presidential candidate who would contest. And that is true, as difficult as it is to believe. That is
Okay, I
absolutely true.
understand. I understand that.
I'm coming.
Okay.
Let me land on it. And then that's when he went ahead to say that if it's about platform, that he too could as well also contest under the same NDC which he founded. Do you understand that? That after all, he's
Okay.
also qualified. And that's true.
Okay.
So I don't know why we'll take these things. You see, I feel like again, I think you people can honor the ginger, whatever. Waiting happen now.
Okay. I understand that. Okay, I understand that part.
Okay,
Even
Dr.
as
Katch
that.
has rejoined us. So
So
let's quickly have him on. So Dr. Katch, welcome back. Let me let you respond to my question on people who live the core of the matter, the real core of the matter, how Nigerians go use get better lease of life. Who be the people wey be say don't defraud them, thief their money before, or take a property wey no belong to them, wey be Nigerian property? In fact, wetin be the source of income of people, the other two candidates versus the source of income of Peter Obi? Instead of them to leave things as God to speak with character and competence, they assassinate Peter Obi's character based on he left party, he invested, not that he stole Anambra money, but he invested in Fidelity Bank.
They don't assassinate. No. I think you're wrong. You're wrong.
Okay, sir.
They don't assassinate Peter's character.
Okay, sir.
They say things that are untrue. Character becomes assassinated when we believe him. We don't. So when we believe them, it becomes, yes, the objective has been in this. They only make attempts to try to pour dirty water on his character, but those things don't mean nothing. It is for stoppage of this personal attacks that the court case is necessary. If you notice, since Deji, my friend, was sued, Deji have stopped singing P2B every day. Peter. No, so let's also find a way to hold Kenneth. Let him come to Onisha 2-3 times to come and defend himself. Let's say he's a lawyer. There's nothing wrong with that. Let him come defend himself. Let's see if the law, in the way he understood, is to be respected or to be played with like another Nollywood script. No, the laws are not.
So you do not believe that Peter B should have ought to have left that and not go ahead to sue?
No. I am very happy that Peter went to court. If Peter doesn't go to court, a lot of people might think that what Kenneth said is true. So it's a good thing he goes to court. Let the people, can't you see, just by going to court, the person Kenneth claimed told him has now said no, that he never says so. These are the things that we need to do because these are judicial issues. If you said yes, what the man claimed that you told him is true, you will be in court. So let him come to court and prove if what he said is true, or if anybody told him this, let him show evidence of that. Now the man said he didn't show. The man has shown his own. We may also end up inviting the networks. The cellular networks may also have to come there to authenticate messages if necessary. But if P2B wants me to continue to support him, he must be in court with Kenneth Okonkwo and anybody. If not, how will I know? I have supported this man since 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, and 2026. If I have been that long supporting him, I want to know that I am on the path of truth. If there are things I don't know, people say about him, it's wrong for me to try to say it, even though I serve as his special advisor on public affairs. There are things I ask him. There were things that happened and I said, sir, what is about this? The early days, he told me things about him and Soludo. He told me things about his choice for governorship in Anambra, that should come from a particular section that have not had access to it. And these are the ways, but other things I understand, like Kenneth's acrobatics. These are pressure behaviors forced by him agreeing to work for Atiku. It's like working for the devil. And then the devil will say you must to kill the people you see who don't like the devil. And then you go on to kill, but killing somebody in public is against the law. And that's what Kenneth has done. He has gone to the public to kill Peter B's character. But you need to have proof before you say this. And this is where this problem is. So as far as I'm concerned, he has gone wrong. He has played the mercenary, an Igbo man who supports the Fulani man for president. And he has gone on to lie against the Igbo, who are only fighting for inclusion, for equity in the Nigerian project. That's all. No problem. You can be a sell whatever black thing against your people because you're being paid money by Atiku. No problem. But do it within the provisions of the law. You're a lawyer. And now you've decided to lie against Peter. I have warned you months ago. You insulted me that me and all those with Peter suffer from degenerative disease. How can I suffer from degenerative disease? Katch on Onunju. How? What disease? Kenneth said I do. So that's who he is. He will just wake up and then blow one actor inspired grammar. This is not the Nollywood Kenneth Okonkwo. This is this is real. It's not acting. It's not Nollywood. He thought it was Nollywood. Now they've hit him with court issues. Let's see what he does in 7 days. Eh-heh. If in 7 days he doesn't apologize, he now thinks he can
He said he
go to
will
court.
expose that he has some secrets that he will expose about P2B. And he
No,
said that
no
P2B is a
problem.
generous
No
of rich
problem.
for taking him to court.
I want to see those secrets. I'm happy to see them. Let him expose. We'll be happy to see the secrets. I've been wanting to see secrets about Peter. It's the truth. Let me know I was wrong to come to him to beg him to run. Let me know I was wrong to accept the appointment of my person as a special advisor on public affairs. Let me know I was wrong to have believed that Peter is who I think him to be, for me to now to be able to preach and try to sell him to the public.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. Then the one more last thing is the worry. Now, Sarah K. Dixon, he talked plenty things today. And Nigerians, they a bit worried. I mean, yesterday, between yesterday and today. One of the things he talked today is saying he give P2B platform to come contest election. Free. Say they no give him 1 naira. And he make them sole candidates. Kwanko survives. He no charge them money. That what more do they want? I don't. He wasn't referring to P2B. He was referring to supporters. I believe so. And people are saying that is it that he's unable to handle the large crowd of both the Kwankwasia movement and the obedience movement? What's going on? While others are thinking that is he out to defeat P2B and work against him? People are saying that because if you look at, we talked about an appointment earlier where he appointed known people who don't like P2B in any way. They are, if you see the things they've said about P2B in the past, that P2B will never become president for any reason and all that. These are people he appointed as spokesperson to the NDC. The obedience again are saying that they cannot have those people as spokesperson. But people are saying that. So let you respond to that very quickly before I
I want you to understand this. There's nothing wrong with a party appointing persons to work for the party. When the presidential campaign team will be composed, that will be composed by the candidates. When that comes on, then we will know what we're doing. I don't think that has yet been composed. The presidential campaign team is normally done by the candidates and his people. And of course, who is not wanted will not be put there. You can be a member of the party and, of course, speak publicly against anybody you want. The law allows that under the Nigerian law. That I'm a member of NDC, PDP, or APC does not remove me from criticizing something I do not like. Everybody has rights to say what he wants about Peter. I've told you this before. Anybody can say what they want about Peter. If they're able to convince the crowd, good luck. But Peter, as you know, we have been through this before, and those things those people have done does not work. So we will find who it is that is not liking of Peter, and we will ask the person to stay in the party. And of course, the presidential campaign team will be composed by the candidates. So I don't see these issues as anything big. Everybody in the NDC doesn't need to like Peter Obi. No, no. Me and Peter were all in PDP. We didn't, all of us didn't need to like anybody who was in the party. It was against the interest of some hierarchical leaders in the PDP that I was doing the Fulani monologue. Of course, they didn't stop me, but I, as a member of the party, was stringent in speaking against the killings. Check the television footages. Check for over 12 years. I have been there. So even if I knew that would not be sitting well with some leaders in the PDP, I spoke about it because to me, Nigeria comes first. So everybody in the NDC does not need to like Peter Obi. No. NDC is like church. It's an open house. Anybody can come in. But with time, we'll have these things resolved. I don't see them as a problem. And I think it's wrong for anybody to see them as a problem. I don't think so. So not everybody in the APC likes President Tinubu. Don't forget. There are people in the APC who are not happy with President Tinubu, of course. And that's why they play the politics. That was why some of them didn't get tickets to return. Yes, not everybody in the APC in every state like their governors. There are people in the states who don't like their governors. And when it comes to giving ticket for second term or the new term, the governor did what they did. And you saw it was only those the governors, gave okay for that succeeded. So that's how politics is. Everybody in a party does not need to like the leader. That does not make them bad members of the party. They express the opinion. It is not for that leader to know how to choose those who will work for him. That's how these things work. So I don't think people should worry about it. Okay? Uh, Peter Obi is not somebody that we need to employ those who like him. If you like, speak against him. We will know how to sell him to the public. Those things don't make any sense. Please.
All
Uh,
right, sir. Thank you.
Forget them.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Phone lines are open. Let's begin to take your thoughts and reactions very quickly. Let me begin with you, MC. You had a question. Go ahead, please. Shoot.
Yeah. Dr. Katch, good evening.
Thank you.
Nice to see you here again. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Uh, yeah. My question is this, yeah. You know, with a lot of this now, this current administration, the amount of damage the current administration have done to Nigerians. Yeah. So why is because for me, let me add this as well. For me, I feel that all other oppositions were supposed to come together, unite behind Peter Obi. Like this guy now that went to PRP, Duke, Donald Duke or something that went to PRP. Like even the article, so because I was even expecting the article to support him as well. So we are not. Let's just leave article out. Like
Ah,
every
so
other
every
ones as
other
well.
person should leave their own ambition and follow Peter Obi first.
Precious,
Eh.
let me put my question. Let me explain. So I'm trying to say
No, but
something
I'm trying to
so that
make your question more
you
order.
hold on. You understand me when I land my question. When I
Eh.
land my question, you will understand better. So what I'm trying to say is that because we know that Nigerians now want Peter Obi because they see Peter Obi as the only person that can rescue Nigeria in a way at the moment. Even the atmosphere, the way everything is now, everybody knows, everybody sees it. Not the other candidates, but if the other candidates themselves feel that even the other candidates themselves knows this as well. But and then themselves are also against the current administration. Why can't they just unite behind Peter Obi and face these people, face the APC? Because normally it has been done in other countries as well. Like I can make an example now. Hungary did the same thing. All oppositions they all queue up behind the one person they know that it can get rid of the current administration. They did it. Even in Senegal, it happened in Senegal as well. You could see the leading candidate had to step down and back another person and put another person forward. So that's what that. So why can't they just do that? So that
Okay.
if they really mean well for Nigeria,
Well, I think the problem is you are wrong. You pretentiously speak as if Nigeria was a nation. Nigeria is not.
okay.
Nigeria is on a path, on a progression towards nationhood. We're not yet a nation. We'll become a nation when the different components that were left behind by the British agree to form one union, a nation. We don't. The Fulani currently seek a settler colonial entity where they will own an entity called Nigeria as their own, and they will be the overlords. That's why you're seeing the war. How many Nigerians spoke? Some of them just kept quiet. They didn't do anything. By the time the war started speaking, we found out that the militias have overwhelmed the army. It took the Americans coming in for me and you now to be having this conversation about country. We had no country. It's lost. So let us first gain our country before you can be talking about what you're saying. Now, why do I say that? Some of the people who make announcements for presidency, they see the electoral uh, season as a season for them to project themselves, you know, to the voting population. They're not running to win. Some don't run like you call Duke. Duke is not running to win. Duke is probably there, probably to show say he's still alive, he's still in the process. Tomorrow he could just say, okay, I suppose so and so person. Such things come with some promises from a lot of people. Same thing for McKinsey. So it's one thing to say you want to run for president. Nobody takes it seriously unless they see you forming a presidential campaign team. And you know what that means. So, what P2B achieved with no party, no governor, no senator, no councillor, I don't think any of these people can achieve it. P2B didn't achieve it because P2B was a superman. No. P2B achieved it because fruitiously, P2B made themselves available at a time when younger people who represent the best educated generation of young Nigerians were demanding for a new country, which is normal. Today, they own businesses like the money transfer things. You remember? You have, what's this called? The very, very successful one built by a Nigerian, uh, which I use to transfer money. Okay, and money point, and that's what I'm talking about. So if you now have younger people owning money point, a lot of them, like the ones who own the drone manufacturing company, these are young people. They seek a better country. They don't want this nonsense that forced upon us by soldiers that Atiku now represents. That they want a country they can say something, they can plan about. Our country is right now captured by a Sunni minority. Whether you like it or not, that is the fact. And they do not want to allow for any election. So don't be deceived with the tribal stories going around. No, there is a war in Nigeria. The Sunni minority have not only captured the country, but now they're also propelling Sunni terrorist organizations to seize land as a strategy for them to maintain their control upon political power. And this is what the problem is. You will see them now import Sunni Fulanis from Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso to use them to seize large swaths of Hausa land. There is not only would those people be promised that they can own the land, but during elections, they just write the results and give the big man who supports them, and the man will present to Abuja. And of course, you know the kind of joke that they are making of our electoral act. So the country is currently at a place of capture. We are fighting to free the country, and you need to understand that. So, a lot are also lying that the country, everything is okay. These people are paid megaphones. There are even those who come to deny the killings. Even some are employed to say, no, 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 the democracy can work, keep the power only in the north, like you see Kenneth Okonkwo doing. And in such frenzy, the minute people be that they intended to use as the buffer to gain votes left them, they went into a crazy frenzy. And we are now reacting to such issues. So
All right, I think his network has gone bad again. Um, I hope he's responded to your question so that we can take someone else. MC.
Although, yeah, but I want to also add something because he made mention of Sunni Muslim. So I want to ask: is Tinubu a Sunni Muslim as well? Is he a Sunni as well?
Of course, he is now. Yes.
Wow.
There are two types of Islam in Nigeria: the Shiite Islam or the Sunni.
divide
Okay,
us
so
Yes.
okay,
is
So,
sad.
so that's okay.
Where
Go
we
ahead.
are is no good. And everybody
Mm.
should understand, if you want Nigeria to work as a project, all hands need to be on deck. If you don't care, we'll perpetually be this way. Can you imagine? Tinubu give 72% of our infrastructural budget to one company with no biddings. Don't you understand what that is? We are currently under state capture. So we can discuss the things that happen during state capture. That's what you're not talking about. But we
Right.
don't need to give up hope because despair is not an option in this game to save the country.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me take someone as prestige, please. Yeah, put you aside so that somebody else can come in, because we don't
it's
have
all right.
there are lots of people trying to come in and there's not enough room. All right. So, prestige, please go ahead.
Yeah, greeting
You're
everybody.
welcome.
Greeting Dr.
Thank you
Kachi.
very much.
How are you doing today,
Thank
sir?
you. I'm happy. I'm
Yeah,
good.
let me start with this point. Yeah, I heard you made a comment earlier, about Tinubu, um, who has the concept of Emiloko, and which has to do with the nepotism and other kind of things, and the way he's, impoverizing the whole country. He said you wish, some of the things that he's doing, he can stop doing it and pay attention to the country. I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm sorry, Dr. Kachi, because this man is gonna be a lame dunk president, in about a year or two right now. And you don't you expect the wars to happen at that particular time? I don't see Tinubu changing. I think he's gonna be worse in his second time. In my own opinion, I believe he's gonna win unless there's a free and fair election. But I hope I'm wrong. I'm praying that I'll be wrong. But anyway, my main subject is about Kenneth Okonkwo. Because what is Kenneth Okonkwo doing? I mean, there's something I say about the Southeast, and I say, okay, he's not alone. I mean, they're playing this play card right now that Reno Mokore, FFAK doing. So is Kenneth Okonkwo becoming the Southeast of Reno Mokore and Kenneth Okonkwo? This is exactly what he's doing. If you look at the strip in things fall apart, where the Okonkwo said he feel like, he's slightly above other people in his own region. This is what Okonkwo is doing. Is that anything that is actually happening to him? Is it because he's supporting Atiku and Atiku is backrolling him? I mean, this man has become something, unbelievable. Can you please say, can the Ohaneze, Ndi Igbo come into this situation right now? Because this need to, I know we are Republican, regardless, I mean, there's a good part of that and there's a bad part of that because we are not united politically. So having said that, do you think the Ohaneze, will try to resolve this issue? And I applaud Obi for going to court because this is going to silence Kenneth Okonkwo from talking because when things are in the court right now, Kenneth Okonkwo cannot say any more thing. He's going to be silenced in that. So I commend Obi for taking this action. Maybe he's learning from his previous, dispensation. This dispensation, and he has become a different person. That's what we need for. I'm not saying he should become a revolutionist, but he's doing the right thing. But can you comment on that, please?
I will want to say that I share your thoughts. I I will not, I will not advise a withdrawal of that case by Peter. I want Kenneth to go to court and prove that Peter is a criminal, as he said. And let us use Kenneth as an example. What's going on is humanly natural. The East had been cheated for a very long time. We have Tinubu spending so much on infrastructure, but the East is not captured in that. And that's why everybody in the East, Southeast, South, are together asking for a more inclusive Nigeria. You're not going to stop the system from discovering people like Kenneth Okonkwo, who are, due to economic challenges, will now start insulting his people, abusing his people, just to make his master that he's serving happy. I'm happy that we're talking about this, but I spoke about this first in the whole nation when he started insulting Peter, and Peter sent me the video of Kenneth's something, and I read it, and then I now decided to reply. I didn't know because it was Peter who sent me that video of what Kenneth said, talking about those who are with Peter, like me, of suffering from, he's called it a degenerative disease. I don't suffer from any disease. And I got angry and I said publicly the reasons why the altercation occurred. Kenneth had a problem with rent. He couldn't afford his rent. And that was why he came to beg. Peter gave him the much he can give. You see, Kenneth's problem is he sees and hears Peter donate to girl education. And when he hears Peter give 20 million to so and so nursery school, another 20 million to so and so school for girls, to another 50 million for so and so girls. He now thinks, why can't we get, what about me? What about me? I started with Peter. Until today, I have not publicly said such a thing. He doesn't give me. He doesn't give me. I don't get nothing from him. And I've never asked. So what I expected was, as we won, someone like Alex Oti as governor will look after us who are with Peter. But that didn't happen. It didn't happen. But then you do not now, because of such thing didn't happen, you now go crazy against the man. That means he didn't understand what we were doing. It is me that have said several on this program that I'm grateful Peter didn't let me down. When we started, me and Doyin Okupe, we had no candidate at all. We were going to be deshined. Everywhere on the PDP caucuses, they were asking me, what are you doing this? You don't have a candidate. And that was Peter. We sold him to the people embraced him. We did what we did, which today is historical. But some people came to join us. They came for different reasons. Who came to join us had housing problem. And when the big bank couldn't do what he wanted, we are now in trouble. And he has overstretched that fight. This is not proper because two of them don't have previous problems. Where we come from, the East, you don't do a thing like that to a man unless he took your wife or he took your land. So Peter didn't take his wife or land. Where did this anger come from? I don't understand. So I am simply inclined to believe it is because of the money it's given him by the Atiku camp. That's all. He works for Atiku. He doesn't work for ADC. He's just for Atiku. That's all. And that's the problem. That's why you see me. Yes, I was a PDP man when I got Peter. And then we were able to talk him into agreeing to work with us. That was all. For agreeing to work with us, what I owe him It's gratitude. Gratitude. Not getting angry that I wasn't able to milk him. I started before everybody. I was there. But when he came, issue of money, I kept myself away. It is when you start handling the money issue and then the numbers don't add up, they will still start calling you. I may not have the billions of Dangote, but I'm very happy with who I am and the names that I have. Today in this country, I have name. If you say, what have I do? I will tell you, I exposed the killings by the Fulani to the world. No other Nigerian was as strengthened as I was over 12 years period during the Fulani monopole to actually bring this to public attention. And I knew why I was doing the monologue. I understood it. It's like I was created to do it. And today I am happy to say that I'm grateful for the US government accepting verbatim everything that I said. Check the videos, go to the internet. This is what contribution to nation building is. It's not coming because you failed as an actor, couldn't make money. They now want to come to politics. You can't make money in politics unless you are a crook. No, you don't, unless you're a thief, like you've seen the corruption that has ruined the country. So for me, I don't blame what has happened. What has happened are humanly natural and normal. There are humans who are weak, that if you don't give them money, or they can collect money from other people, and that could become the factor of their employment to attack another man daily. I don't. And I don't like that. And no one, I don't attack any human being. I will only tell the story of what you've done before, and people will now judge. Why should I go such something driving bile against Peter? What did Peter do to Kenneth? Nothing. Nothing. So let us move forward as our own way for nation building. This
All right.
kind of
So,
things, we shouldn't be surprised it happens. It is humanly possible and normal for this kind of thing to happen. For me, it's nothing big. Forget about it. If you don't have problems on your progression to the top, then maybe you are doing something very, very bad or abnormal. This is normal and we expect it. Let them keep talking about Peter. There's nothing wrong about it. I know who he is. It's just when you talk too much, he will go to court. Because if he doesn't go to court, then I will think that he's deceiving me about why should I follow him when he's not honest. He must be in court and let those people now prove that they are right. If not, I go leave Peter. Let Peter go court. Him, everybody will talk nonsense where I don't know. Let him go to court to prove that it's not true. Then I'm okay. That way I can sell him to Nigerian with my heart, knowing very well that I've done nothing wrong.
all right, sir. So very quickly, somebody did ask a question. She says, "Do you think Dixon is heading towards Aburu's or heeding Abure's warning about obedience trying to take over the NDC?
No.
The way they try
The
to take over
problem, the
the NDC.
problem at the NDC are humanly normal. Our movement is an organic monster. Of course, if you leave Peter, he'll be apologizing to Governor Dixon every day, but that's not it. Dixon is right to sound his warning, let them understand that he did us a favor by giving us a platform. And I'm grateful. Just like I told you before, I was grateful to the Labour Party to give us a platform. I didn't go to the Labour Party to start saying, give me this, give me that, give me this, give me that. Can you imagine who I am? I am the special advisor on public affairs. I was #1 spokesperson. But we understood the strategy that we are following. I didn't need to start arguing for this. I'm older in this business than all of them. I started it. So if people
So
who
you don't
just
think
come
that
in,
Dixon is
they
worried
don't
that the
understand what.
obedience, you don't think that Dixon is worried that the obedience and Kwankwasia movement may want to hijack NDC?
No, 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 no. Dixon is okay to say what he's saying because they have been smashing him since. For him, he thinks those behaviors he did are normal as leader, and they come at him. So those are normal. You can't have political relationship that is 100% peaceful. No, You're dealing with Kwankwaso. You know, Kwankwaso sometimes it could just spark up. But of course, we have back channels. When I first met him 2022 to beg him to come work with Peter, Peter sent me. I went with Dr. Zepume, he came from the US, and we talked. And Kwankwaso said, no, he wouldn't do that. But I understood because before I got to Kwankwaso's house, I also had been called by some other people who told me that I and Peter were trying to disrupt the system, disrupt the system. But when I later found that guy, the elder citizen, was actually the promoter for Atiku, I just have abandoned the same General Gusau. So it was all that General Gusau's threat that stopped Kwankwaso from working with us in 2023. But thank God Kwankwaso has come now to work with us. So forget all these stories you hear. Of course, Kwankwaso has every right to warn the coalition, the party, that they agreed with him to allow him be Lord and Master in Kano. You know, allow him, let him organize Kano. And nobody can organize Kano better. So let him do that. I don't see a big issue in this business. It's like allowing the president to organize Anambra, the presidential candidate, allowing Congress to organize Kano, let him have it. Of course, nobody will talk to Dixon when it comes to organizing Bayelsa State. It's a national party, and that's what it is. So we'll all get into it. I want to tell you, Dixon is a sound gentleman, and I'm not worried about him, not afraid about him. No. If anybody there is, I will trust more than anybody else in this coalition, it is Dixon. I know him. He's my personal friend. Uh-huh. Governor Dixon is somebody I can vouch for. And that was why I was very angry when another of my friend, who's also a friend of me and Governor Dixon, Dr. Ado, started going to court against the NDC. That was wrong. But I don't like it. But then human beings are different. Ado probably was doing that to become in the favor books of Tinubu. I think that's what he's doing. So, but I know he lacks locus to bring such actions, against the NDC. He's not INEC. He's not a member of the NDC. Nobody touched him. He made his own private, personal application for ADA. It didn't work. If your own no work, you don't concern anybody for other people own work. Do what they did. Go to court if you think you have all the things and you've met all conditions, and yet they will not have you registered. And that's what it is.
Thank you.
Everybody should mind their own business. And for
Thank
me,
you.
Governor Dixon is okay. He's a good man, and I trust him. He has every right to say anything, and then we can look at it. That's not a problem, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Prestige, I have to keep you aside now so that others can join the conversation. T.Y. Danjuma, let's take your opinion, please. Go ahead. Yes, sir. Your audio is not good. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
It's a bit better. Go ahead.
I said good evening to you, pleasure.
What is wrong? Where you did today? Your audio no still dey very, very sound. You did muffled a little bit.
Oh my God. Taking on the station.
I can hear, we can hear you, but it's still not very clear. But let's see if we can manage to get what you're saying. Are you using a hands-free? If you're using a hands-free, maybe you have to take it off. So that we don't take too much time. So let me let George go. George, go with your question while we wait for it. We can't hear you. We can't hear what you're saying at all. We can't hear you. We can't hear you at all. I don't understand what's going on. We can't hear you. So, Dr. Katch, sir.
Yes.
So, while we're waiting for T.Y. Danjuma's audio to be stabilized, there is a particular, thing that people in government are now saying. One of the populists said it. What's his name now? The Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, also said it. The President himself said it, making it appear that as though it's people that are his opponents that are sponsoring the terrorism, kidnapping of school children, beheading of human beings, all of this crisis because they don't want him in power. And a lot of people don't they wonder, say, if you know sin your enemies, why you know if you stop those enemies? As in the enemy is not that your hand, may you stop them. So why is it difficult for you to? In fact, the Senate president even went as far as saying that just 2 weeks after the win election, that terrorism will stop. Oh, you guys can stop it 2 weeks after election, but you can't stop it now before election. So what are you saying about that? What do you have to say about this narrative very quickly, sir?
And what I will tell you is the terrorism persists because of the president's incompetence in dealing with the insecurity issue. Terrorism, that if you understand how the Fulani militias are, 30,000 of them, yes, they are audacious. They have a war on. But because Tinubu doesn't have advisors who are thinking about dealing and removing these terrorists, the advisor he has in Ribadu allows the terrorists to continue. Ribadu thinks he can micromanage it. He can micromanage anything because he can't speak for these people. The people speak as a nation. And the problem the Fulani have is the democracy. The democracy does not allow them, because they don't have numbers, to sustain their positions of entitlement and privileges. Democracy requires number. What's going on is inevitable. The Fulani are on the edge of losing Nigeria due to democracy. But they also now seek land, and they're using violence to seize that land, increase the space, and then that will now increase the areas under their settler colonial empire, which you call the Sokoto Caliphate. Some of us think it's a joke. You know, that's why I said it is good that the violence now has come to Southwest. If Yorubas kept quiet for Tinubu to behave as if the violence, the killings in Katsina, Zamfara, Sokoto, Kaduna, Plateau, Benue, Niger, Adamawa, Taraba, as if the people who died there are logs of wood, and you don't say anything, you keep quiet. When the war comes to you, as it has come to Ibadan, you wake up. You wake up. And that's what you've seen there. He says that the people who do this are his enemies. Of course, they are his enemies. They may have been his friends before. Remember, they used violence in getting rid of Jonathan. And now that he is doing with those friends, and he is in power, and those friends don't like him, they have gone back to sustain an escalation of the violence. He's right. He is right to his opponent. That is the truth. But maybe they were his friends before, but today they are his opponents. And they are using violence against him, same way they use violence against President Goodluck Jonathan. In the age and period of people using violence to gain political power, we're in problem. We're in very, very deep problem. So if Tinubu had been able to consciously accept these people, the only language the Fulani militias understand is force. If you don't use force against them, they will undermine your government. And that's what you're saying. So Tinubu is paying the price of
Here we go. We'll have to finish today's show, no matter how bad.
against the Fulani militias now. Statement you had from the Senate president that if they go against the militias now, that they will offend the patrons and sponsors who may have some political leverage that will bring him, as he thinks, advantage during elections. So it's okay for them to keep killing Nigerians until the elections. That's not true. There may be no Nigerians to vote for you then. So why don't you fight to allow the Nigerians to stay alive so that they will be alive to vote for you come election? Because if you don't do anything now, they could kill all of them. And then, as I said earlier, the people who now occupy those spaces will write results. That's the problem of Nigeria. We are right now at the period of people seizing territory, using their seizure and dominance over that such territory to write results that have nothing to do with voting. We are under state capture.
All right, thank you. Mr. Obisi, let me take a question while we wait for T.Y. Danjuma's network and so that he can return the question. Mr. Obisi, go ahead, please.
All right. Good day, everybody. Blessings, everyone. Dr. Katch, Ndewo.
Thank you.
Well, I have heard everything you said, but to start with, what I wanted us to do is, I don't know, maybe Precious, maybe we start shutting down this Kenneth Okonkwo discussion, because maybe we start shutting down this Kenneth Okonkwo discussion. And I will be honest with you, Dr. Katch, I felt that, or I feel that Obi going to court is a distraction, because we have only 8 months to go for this election. Kenneth Okonkwo wo timpu with his basket mouth. He's just a village gong that is making noise. Because while I will not take him serious is when he said, if you need money for campaign, why not ask me for help? And this was someone who was asking for rent money the other day. And then all of a sudden, he can be able to advance 5 billion for campaign funds. You know, so that's why we should not take him serious. But be that as it may, yeah, Obi has gone to court, because why I felt that it's not what it is. What is the outcome of the Deji's the suit he filed against Deji? I don't hear anything about it up until now.
It's very good. The suit is good. Because of that suit, Deji doesn't call his name anymore. Deji has silenced himself from mentioning P2B. There are reasons. It's just like reason people declare for presidency. Some are not actually doing that presidency to win. They are declaring it for different reasons. So maybe if by taking these people to court, you silence others from making such frivolous, don't forget what Tinubu and his gang did in 2023 is dirty. But if we could challenge such behaviors in Lagos, in courts, come on, those things are criminal rights and law. There is nowhere on earth where you commit such a voter suppression and you say it's normal. No. Maybe we should start going to court to seek interpretations from some of these rights violations. And for your information, we're not going to stop Kenneth. Kenneth is very, very important metaphor for the way we are. Kenneth is a metaphor for the true problem of the country. Somebody can come to your village and buy somebody and be using him against your community. That's Nigeria for you. It has not changed. Kenneth is not the only one who does that. Dave Umahi does it. Yes, Wike does it too. You know, self-immolation.
But why is it more? Why is it more prevalent on the Igbos? Why do we sell our product?
It is because the other parts of Nigeria gives the impression that the Igbos are their problem.
Not united.
People are genuinely genuinely afraid of Igbos, whether you like it or not. That's a fact. Most people don't hate them, they just fear them. Why? Their competitive capabilities. Whether you like it or not, that is a fact. You don't have horns on your head, but when they see you, they're afraid. Because once you start competing where you are with them, with time, you will eclipse them. Why? You have a very frightening masquerade called the Iba Boy, the apprenticeship institution. It's the truth. So you need to be honest about the fears these people have. There is a reason. You go to Kano, you are the people dominant. You go to Benin, you are there. You go to Lagos, you've taken over so much so that Tinubu and his gang are fighting you. You are there in Abuja with over 86% of the CFOs on properties. Are you the only one on earth? Everywhere. The places you don't invest, like Port Harcourt, dies. Port Harcourt is decayed. There are no investments there. You will see roads in Port Harcourt, but no houses. From mile 1 to mile 2 to Diobu, from there through town to Lagos bus stop, all of that town. So it's a problem. Don't pretend it doesn't exist. For you to be able to solve a problem, you must accept that the problem exists. Just like the US coming here and telling you there are killings by the Fulani militias. And the more you keep saying no, then you cannot be a partner in trying to find a path towards resolution. You need to admit the problem exists before you can sit with like minds to find path towards resolution. And that's the issue. So for us, my dear, we do have a problem. People are afraid of us for our competitive capabilities. And that's an issue. Whether you like it or not, it's real. It frightens them. They do not seek a country premised on competition. But that's what we want. But they don't want it. That's why they also don't want an election based on genuine, free, and fair
And
voting.
fair.
You
Yeah,
saw it in
yeah, yeah,
Lagos. Once they saw
yeah.
the exit polls, the government stopped everything in 2023. And that was how they told you that Amazon, no, we say there is a glitch. Amazon said there was no glitch. The government said, shut up. We say there's a glitch in Nigeria. That's what it is. And this is how it is. They fear you. Thank God Peter is now resetting those things. Peter will be won the election. Forget what Buhari and
Okay,
his
okay,
about did.
so now, just as you said that uh he's until the campaign team comes on board, and this is what we are always say whenever we come here. I think I read somewhere INEC, the campaign season will start from July for presidential thing, right? And then governorship in August. I would think that, well, I'm sure by now he should also be making his consultations on as to who are the ones to be on his campaign team. But I'm still thinking that whether there is campaign team put together now or not, that he should start rebuffing all these malicious rhetorics that are coming against him. Unleash spokespeople, unleash them in all the states of the federation, in all the major languages, and not only the 3 major languages, but all the bigger languages of the federation, so that people will know what is going on. Unleash them, tell them all the faults of Tinubu, why Tinubu is not good for Nigeria for a second term. Because this is what we need to do if we have to wrest power from this guy. Because he has told you, he's singing parrot, Opebelo, said there is no vacancy in Asorok. And he has said that he's not going to give power to anybody. And I pray that Obi will probe the 2023 election, now that he's coming up to say that he won that election. I pray that he wins. And then when he wins, he's going to probe that election and probe the people that brought all these terrorists to Nigeria at the advent of 2025. probe them, put whosoever that is involved, no sacred cow that is involved. And I pray he does it so that if it will bring the separation of Nigeria, let it be. Because my ultimate prayer is the separation of that country. I don't care whatever you people say. I'm supporting Obi because, yes, at least we have seen somebody that can bring sanity to the society for a while. But yet, we can't keep fighting this war. We cannot keep fighting this war that is brought upon the country just by one ethnic group. Okay, that said, let him, since you have his ear, you guys should unleash spokespeople all over the federation, whether there is campaign team now or not. Let them start debunking all the things that are coming up, and then also profiling Tinubu, because we have to take control of his vulnerabilities, which is bad governance he has given out to us. Let people know, let all the major languages, let all the people of Nigeria know that this guy is not good for you for the second time. Because if he comes, you're gonna, like what happened in the Bible, you will be selling your children to eat. That's what we have to be telling them. If this guy comes the second time, you guys will be selling your children to eat, to be able to eat. Okay?
Now, obviously, just to state very clearly, I know you're making a statement and it's your opinion, but please, you can't use this platform to seek for the division of Nigeria. And I
got you.
Put a disclaimer to
that okay, I got that part. Yeah. Okay. Okay, you done?
Yes, I'm done. I just thought to tell you that.
Okay. That's fine.
So that other people can contribute. People are waiting.
Okay, let me stop it here. Let him have it. You know.
Dr. Katch, sir, please kindly respond to him or react
to
him.
Yes, I will tell you one thing. I will repeat. I'm not preaching for the vision of the country. I seek, you see, in my normal optimistic way, a repair of the country. And that's why I am always against the intention of the militia people. My thoughts are that killing of Nigerians in Breningwari, in Pandagari, in Alawa, in Anka, and Malalai, in Dangobe, in Ansadao, this portends danger for Nigerians in Imo, for Nigerians in Oyo, Nigerians in Kwara, because when those Nigerians are killed and we do nothing, that was why they were so emboldened as to come down and start attacking people in Imo, attacking people in Oyo, attacking people in Kwara State. I believe wherever Nigerians are harmed, the government should go and do its duty to protect lives and property. Now, we have problem, and some people have different suggestions on how to resolve it. As you have seen, some of our people are talking for separation. As I told you earlier, if Tinubu can fix the country tomorrow, I'll be happy. You see, why I as an Igbo, I don't want Biafra. Well, because I'm greedy. I've seen that the Igbos are the best place to take the greatest opportunities for Nigeria if Nigeria becomes a normal country where there were free and fair election. And of course, the markets are free and aspirations of citizens are catered to by the state. That's what I seek. And in that, doing the Igbos will come out at the top. So that's why we've been fighting for a free and fair Nigeria where things are done properly. But of course, for us to be able to gain that new Nigeria, we must walk. Hence what we're doing right now. Nothing good comes easily. I don't want it torn apart.
But how do you get free and fair Nigeria in this present constitution? With this present constitution,
you walk.
Where
you walk
Islam
must Muslim. No, those things
that
were
has
foolish. Listen, those were fraudulent
Muslims,
things done by
Sharia.
soldiers. We have not, listen, we have not found
So
that
how do we
out.
amend it?
And those are,
These people are not. These
we
people
are
don't
on
want
the
the amendment
process.
of constitution. They don't want state police.
It will
They don't
be,
want restructuring.
it
All
will
they
be,
want is the
it will
present way it
be.
is, so that they'll keep milking the rest of the
No,
country.
it does not matter. You don't start fighting because you talk to a woman and in your first talk, she said no. You don't have to give up. You continue. So, yes, they have tried to say no because they want to retain the advantages given to them by the soldiers who wrote the decrees that favored Muslims. Now we become a country and we're trying to build a nation. And you can see that those misbehaviors by the soldiers is now making a smooth progression of the nation, Nigerian nation project, very, very difficult. And that's why we're having this discussion. That thing they did didn't work. We are sensitizing people to build momentum to change it. We will change it. Despair is not the game, and I will not preach despair to you. I want you to know that if we can work together, we can change our fortune. I have no doubt about that, and I know it will happen.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. CY Danjuma, good evening and welcome. Sorry, the network booted you out. Welcome. Go ahead with your question. Yes, please.
Good evening, Precious. Good evening, Dr. Katch.
Yes, he can hear you.
Yes, and all, every other person watching and on the platform. Dr. Katch, I agree 100% with you that His Excellency Peter Obi should go to court if, in the event that the accuser fails to apologize within the period given to him to do so. But the only area where I differ from you, and I'd like you to comment on that, is that in the event that he fails to do so, because he's doubling down now and trying to blackmail His Excellency Peter Obi, I think what I'm thinking, or what I'm suggesting, you're close to him, is that the lawyers, advisedly should institute a civil and criminal action against the accuser, and possibly against the network that gives him the platform to spew that nonsense. And let us see, because who alleges, has to prove. Let us see whether those accusations are true or whether they are not true, because it is necessary that Kenneth comes. I hate to mention his name, but I don't think that it is Kenneth has to come with whatever proof that he has for going to that extent to defame Peter Obi and the leadership and those he mentioned. What's your view?
I will tell you, you cannot wish away Kenneth Okonkwo. Kenneth Okonkwo is an integral part of Nigeria. He's a metaphor for those who, due to hunger, will do things like this. You're not going to stop it. Society will always have weak people who, due to their weakness, will do things that can bring them into this kind of opprobrium. But you also need to understand the reasons why Kenneth did what he did. They were hoping to use Peter for Atiku to become president. The minute Peter left, of course, they now believe that their game has crashed. You're now seeing elders cry. We know what children do when this kind of thing happens, like taking away their toy. They will just scatter, even they fall on the ground and they'll be crying, shaking, rolling themselves there. That's what these people are doing.
So you think that Kenneth is throwing tantrums?
Of course, this is natural. You didn't think Peter will leave and then the ADC will crash as it has done and they will keep quiet. No. That's not proper. And if you understand the fundamentals that drove these behaviors, it is to show that Atiku does not regard or respect the South. His is just his me politics, which I call a toxic, inordinate ambition, is actually what has destroyed the opposition. That's what led to the crisis in the PDP. That was why we left. That was how I started my agitation. That was how Doinukbe joined me. That was how we progressed to engage in Peter when Peter said no, and later on he said yes. So these things have reasons, and you cannot wish them away. As far as I'm concerned, I am looking at what's going on and learning from them. I'm not telling myself this shouldn't happen. No, because where we are today in this country, we've never been here before, you know. And for me, those things are learning curves because I understand to try to sell the Nigerian project is a very difficult thing because everybody have seen that the project failed. It failed because some actors refused for an inclusive country where everybody is equal. You know, if the Fulanis refuse that we be equal with them, then you have a problem. And that's why you see some of them wouldn't want, the advantages and privileges they enjoy in the North be rubbished. But of course, the more you sustain a democracy, the more it will be. Just like learning, one day the Yorubas will come to power, and as a Yoruba majority state, Ilorin and Kwara will become what they should be. Today, you have a country where votes don't count, but it doesn't mean we should simply, out of despair, give up. No, we continue fighting. It's like trying to kill a python. It doesn't die from a single strike. You keep hitting it. You keep hitting it. You keep hitting it. It gets weak and then it dies. Check the fight between the honey badger and snakes. Honey badger doesn't kill a snake from just one bite. You keep playing, you weaken it. From weakening it, then you get it where you want and it dies. That's what we're doing with the Nigerian issue. We started in 2022 to show this death. We're not gaining a lot of listeners. And of course, things are not working well. Tinubu has come in, and even those who thought he could be better are disappointed at the way he failed. And that's what we're saying. Go to election with your achievements and let's see what happens. So for me, I've told you, I don't have any fixation on P2B or anyone. No. If Tinubu tomorrow starts to do well, of course I praise him. Of course I praise him. It's not everybody in APC that are devil. Look at what Hope Uzodinma has done in Imo. Look at also what what's his name, Alex Oti has done in Abia. So development can come from different areas. In Imo today, they have investments in the Orashi, the what was it, the Orashi Electric Company. They also have massive boom economically within the Obaru Basin. The Obaru Basin is the largest onshore oil
Do you
bearing
say Imo
basin
or
in
Abia?
Nigeria.
Are you saying Imo or Abia?
Imo
Okay.
State. Imo today has 385 megawatts electricity generating plant in Egbema. It is giving light in Owerri. They are
But
coming to Okigwa
with the
Nolo.
gas.
Yes, with the gas. That's another thing. Imo has tapped into that gas that Buhari wanted to pipe only to the
Who
north.
wanted to take
Now
away
those
from us?
gases, exactly.
Stupid
Those
animal.
gases now are being cornered by the Ozodema administration for reticulation around the Imo state. What did he do? He's getting the local governments to pay. He is
Yeah.
getting the local governments to pay for that distribution. It's working. And
Yeah.
then he
Let
also
people
paid the
enjoy the
Chinese
resources
the
God bless
same
them
way
with.
Alex Oti did. Alex Oti and Uzodinma paid international construction companies to be building in that Uguta, and of course Alex Oti's own in Okwa. This is what I expect people like Soludo to do, not to be criticizing P2B. Soludo is just wasting. Can you imagine? Nothing
A
significant.
professor.
A
Yet a
professor
trader
of
came.
noise. This same Ogbaru Basin, Obaru Basin stems from Obaru town, where Odoni comes from, in Ndiono, which in Igbo land called Ndioni, Ndione. The same Obaru also occurs in Anambra, where you have Atani. So that Obaru Basin is also where Imo's projects from Ohaji and Uguta are captured in. In that basin, Imo is doing ports being built by contractors internationally. Imo is doing the hydrocarbon reticulation. Imo is using that particular gas to power its gas plant at Egbema. As I'm talking to you now, Owerri has had uninterrupted power supply since over 2 months, all over New
Oh,
Owerri.
thank God.
This is what governors should be doing. That's what they should be doing. New Owerri has uninterrupted power going now for over 2 months. New Owerri. This is what Soludo should be doing, not be criticizing Peter Obi. Anambra and Imo are all inside that Obaru Basin. The Obaru Basin is the largest onshore hydrocarbon holding area in Nigeria. It's big. Everything you see Imo has, and Anambra is within that
I
Obaru
even had
Basin.
this, even
But
West Africa is bigger. The
Soludo
gas
is not
supply.
it is the largest gas bearing area in the whole of Africa. That was how Imo helped Nigeria to overtake Algeria and be the #1 gas bearing country in Africa.
And they want to
In
take it to
Africa.
Europe. They want to lay the pipe by my
Yeah, that
backyard
was
and take it
Buhari.
to
Buhari
Europe.
wanted to take it to
Oh,
Europe with his AK-18, and he didn't want the Southeast or South to be included in the gas master
yeah.
plan.
Other
That's
regions
how
can
mad
take it.
Buhari is.
Southwest can have it, North can have it, but East will not have it.
That's their madness to try to underdevelop the Southeast, and that's why I'm against
Ah,
Tinubu's behavior. I am against Tinubu because Tinubu has not included the Southeast in his infrastructural spendings. How could you
and then
spend
Dave Omahi
$4
still want
billion?
us to come and vote for
And this
him.
is wrong. This is wrong. And I'm against it. And it angers me. If Tinubu wants peace, he should allow infrastructural spending to spread. If he's doing infrastructural spending as an economic strategy to force a stimulus, of course, all parts of this country are suffering the economic downturn. You cannot create a stimulus infrastructure program for Kaduna, Kanu, Ibadan, and
And
Lagos,
West.
and then you leave out the southeast and south. This is wrong, and that's why I do not agree with Tinubu's stories. I condemn him,
So
and I
this is
refuse
what
to accept
you
his
guys should be
position.
telling the South and the Southeast. This thing now is what you should be telling them. Tinubu, when Dave Umahi comes with his own stupidity, let them know that there is nothing Tinubu has done for us. Let the Igbos know that this gas thing that they're enjoying today, if not for maybe somebody that has balls, Tinubu would have taken it through West to Algeria to Europe. We wouldn't have had a reason to enjoy what God has blessed us with. The same thing applies to the South. Why are they not
That's why
enjoying the oil that God has given to them?
we don't need to worry. We will get to that. Nigeria has only
We have to
just
be worried because if
listen to
Atiku comes, Atiku will still
why
do
I
the same
don't
thing.
worry. Why I don't worry is because Igbo said "Anaghị egbu ala ebu." Since those things are underground, it's like the hydrocarbons in Ogoni land. You don't mine it, it's there. Any day you mine it, you pay them. You will look after the community. So if the government capped wells in the southeast are still capped, it's nobody's business. When the country becomes normal, we will go back to those wells, uncap them as we did uncap in Anambra. Don't forget, the wells currently being worked on by Orient Petroleum were capped from the time after the Civil War. They were only uncapped during the Obasanjo administration. And today you have Orient Refinery working there. So what we need to understand, Nigeria is not a very nice place. Nigeria is not a very nice place. But we don't have to give up hope. Despair is not an option. We must keep fighting till it gets well. And that's what we're doing. So you don't give up. No, you don't. And I will not. I will not.
Thank you so much. Hello, good evening and welcome, sir. Can you help me turn off the volume of your listening device, please? Good evening and welcome. I need us to hurry, sir. Yes, sir. So that I'll take care of the flagship and I release Dr. Katch. Yes, welcome, sir. I greet you too, sir.
Dr. Katch, a young man in the studio. I greet you all. I saw Chua Danjuma, but I don't know, maybe the network. So maybe I caused it. I blow the powder, African powder, and in the wind because we show so much love to Danjuma. Don't mind me.
You see? You see? I go to trouble now. Thank you, sir.
Yes, I go to my point straight. Let me not take our time.
Go ahead, please.
So I agree tenaciously with Dr. Katch concerning Kenneth Okonkwo utterances. You know, the way I watched him talking, the boldness that Kenneth gathered in that interview, I was not only false and baseless, but a frivolous attempt to distort, to tarnish the image of NDC and the P2B, and maybe to fragment or crush his Christian testimony. I was annoyed. I was infuriated. So in that case, he did not only succeed at that moment in bringing a caricature to P2B, but ended up bringing such a man, such an innocent man, to the state of odium and opprobrium. On that case, it's not acceptable at all. It's not manageable. I concur and succumb with all Dr. Katch has said, that they need to go to court. Even if nothing come out of it, because there is no hope in judiciary, there is the need that we should go to court. Honestly, I stand with Dr. Katch, and I also find a way to get message to be nearer, closer, that there is a need. Going to court is a necessity. It's not something that we just shy away from and say, let us ignore. It's not, you can't ignore it. In addendum, this issue of ademptio ius suffragi, what I mean by ademptio ius suffragi is the Latin word of disenfranchisement. So this kind of disenfranchisement that started, that have been announced, I don't know how we go about it. What's the talk of Dr. Chilaka on it? How we go about
Dr. Katch, you mean?
Dr. Katch, sorry. Dr. Katch, disenfranchisement. So how do we go about it? What do we do? What are the necessary actions to take to tackle it now? Because I've also checked my own. I've checked my own, honestly, because I was registered in 2011. I've been deleted. Ask my wife to check. My own wife's own have been deleted. Nothing is there, it's empty. Honestly, I'm a living witness to that. If not from you that are mentioning it, I wouldn't have known it was like that. So that's what I want to say.
Okay, what is the question again, just to be sure again, so that he'll respond?
The question is that how do we tackle, what are the measures to take to confront this disenfranchisement?
Disenfranchisement, that is by
disenfranchisement, yeah, disenfranchisement, I mean.
Okay, all right. Dr. Katch, would you like to react to that?
Yes, what I can tell you is our vigilance has been the reason why we have discovered a lot of these scams, and we have brought it to the public space. When we saw the issue about NITEL attempting to do a revalidation of the electoral register, we complained, and NITEL solved it. Now that this talk has come up and there is national complaint going around, when NITEL understands that the public will not accept it, they will stop. Nigeria has not changed. When you start making, just like the issue in Oyo, the minute people started making noise about the issue in Oyo, it became a headache for the government. So the best way for us to sustain government's reaction is not to keep quiet, keep shouting, keep making noise, keep doing things, which we're doing. Nigerians are doing so much. Look at what the young people are doing, taking risk. Look at a very dark man. He flew in the other day, and he's here to fight them. We're not going to run away. You cannot change any system from being outside the field. No, you will never make an impact in a football match if you're outside the stadium. For you to score a goal, you have to be inside. And that's what we're doing. So those of us inside, we are fighting for a better country. We will not stop. And I believe the people we're talking to understand what we're doing. As they are plotting to sustain themselves, we're also plotting to make things easier and better for everyone who seeks access. Well, it took time. We're docile, and our country got this bad. We're going to fight really hard to change. Good comes, but of course, good things come to those who work for it. We're not going to stop.
All right.
We'll keep working to get a better country.
Thank you. Thank you so much. The flagship, you're welcome. Go ahead with your question, sir.
Good evening, Precious. How are you?
Good evening and welcome. I'm very well. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
Dr. Katch. It's good to see you again.
Thank you very
I
much.
Thank you, sir. I want to circle back to the NDC issue, and while I agree with your response to it, however, I still would like to ask for your clarity on where things are today. Listening to uh, S- uh, Syracuse Dixon's interview, the impression that he created is like he did Nigeria a favor by creating the party, and he did Peter Obi and Kwankwaso a favor by giving them a ticket at no cost. In my opinion, I think that those are in-house matters that should not have come out in the public, considering the cries of other contestants and how they feel like they've been disenfranchised in the process. I know you have his ears and his attention. He's the leader of the party as it is right now. Is it possible to reach out to him again to have the NDC try to quell this issue ASAP? We have 6 months, maybe 7 to the election. There's a lot of work to be done. We cannot be opening wounds. We have to
Yes.
focus and get the work done. So and I understand he came out to cry because of the backlash that he's getting from everyone.
Yes.
But some of these things need to be discussed in house, and that's leadership. That's where he stands. So he needs to sit back and rethink matters that should be put out in the public, not to give talking points to folks like Kenneth Okonkwo, who at this time I agree with everyone should be given less attention to, and the NDC plus Governor Obi should find someone who can match his energy so they do not have time to focus on him or give him that much attention. And I like your analogy of the python. You don't kill it with one strike. You hit and hit and hit, and he wiggles until he dies. So they need to delegate that duty to someone that can match him so he doesn't take the attention of the entire party. My last comment or question is this. The NDC is, and you don't have to say if you know, but if you do, that's fine. Is finance a problem in the NDC as we speak today? If it is, do you think you can communicate to Syracuse Dixon, that it hurts no one for the NDC to open up a campaign fund that the diasporans can contribute into so that money talks would not be the reason why we are creating a bad impression out there. When I say we, I mean the NDC is creating a bad impression and giving loopholes to the opposition to try to crack them down. The diasporans are willing to contribute to the purse of the NDC. And like I said yesterday, we are over 5, 6, maybe 7 million of us out here. And I bet you 100,000, maybe 200,000 of us are seeking for what you and I are talking about today, a better Nigeria, whichever way we decide to do it. And we are willing to make that contribution monthly, even at a low scale. $100 a month is a cup of coffee for 30 days for some of us. We can sacrifice that and put it towards the purse of the NDC, and we can fund the campaign so that we can save Peter Obi, Kwankwaso, any embarrassment that has to do with money. My 2 cents. Thank you, sir.
Money has always been a problem in Nigerian politics. The party NDC is a new party. Of course, parties raise money in different ways. What I would say is NDC is new, and because NDC is new, it could be infiltrated by bad people. And every political party is a church. You can't stop people from coming unless parties under a dictatorship where even members of the party can be killed for just saying the wrong thing, as we see in some very, very terrible countries. That said, I want to say that I'm very happy to hear you say you people are willing to donate towards our democracy. The time will come, and that time will come when we set up a presidential campaign team. And then back channels will be used to do what you're saying. And this, they are going to definitely demand that you show support to Nigeria's democracy. And that's where it is. So right now, different people are speaking, and we've seen pressures and the reaction to such pressures by party leader, Governor Dixon. I speak privately, not from the game of NDC, but as a personal friend of Governor Dixon. I have worked with Governor Dixon longer than I have worked with Peter Obi. I've been Dixon's person right from when he was at the House of Rep. I was his person while he was a governor. I was his person while he is now in Abuja with us as a senator. So I know him, and he's a man with character. Yes, as they bruised his ego with the accusations, that was why he came out to talk. But of course, those things would be nipped in the bud. You can have any human gathering, human organization, like the correctly organic NDC, and without such reactions. But then that's what it is. The more we react to them, the more we learn to do things differently, the more we learn to also understand that people will talk. No matter what you do, people will talk. We are grateful to Governor Dixon for giving the movement a platform. We are thankful to Governor Kwankwaso for also being part of what we are doing now. The onus is on all of us to manage what we have. Nobody's a child. We know how to behave. We know there are things we can say or do that could damage the association's reputation. But I'm not worried because these are early teething problems, which are normal in every human organization. So the bigger game is we've been able to bring together an assemblage that we need to understand its membership and also accept to live with the diversity that is being brought together. Don't forget, this diversity is not regular. It was forced together just in a week. So it will take time for them to now get used to themselves and for us to know how to behave. There's nothing wrong about it. It's a purely normal, natural issue in every human assemblage. So for me, we will learn from it and then correct our ways going forward. So let's nobody over panic. No, things are okay. You can't get to a big market now and throw a big bomb without expecting that it will touch a lot of people. We have now come out. We're brought at our masquerade. Of course, there are things that go with masquerades like this. If everything is calm and cool, it will look like nothing is happening. But don't forget, you're dealing with a movement that has experience. And these are young people, so they know what this state is capable of. They know what the state will do. The important thing is that the followership seems to accept P2B and forgive him for his mistakes. He's human. As we're not talking about perfection. Dixon is human. Dixon is not perfect. Kwankwaso is human. Kwankwaso is not perfect. So if there are mistakes and overreactions from leaders, we'll look at them. But so far, I give 100% pass mark to the behavior of Governor Dixon, Kwankwaso, and P2B. Everything is okay. Let's look at this small teething problems and how we manage them going forward. I don't see an issue. Dixon is a very honorable man, and I'm very happy to know him, to work with him, and to call him my friend.
Thank you so much, Dr. Katch.
Okay. Does that answer your question? You want to have a follow-up question quickly?
Yeah. Just a short, quick follow-up question. I appreciate his response, and I totally agree 100%. Those are great words of wisdom. Dr. Katch, do you think, well, in 2012, when Buhari was coming up, they had a campaign manager from the US, and I know you know who he was.
Mr. Axelrod.
David Axelrod.
Yes, David came here to help Buhari, being sent here by Obama. When Obama was very, very interested in what the Qataris said. You see, the Qataris sent him to help them do that, and he did what he did. The Qataris have not stopped. They've not stopped. They have not stopped.
He did a great job, and his effect was greatly felt. Do you think the NDC will need the same strategies in this campaign?
You needed somebody with the strategy to come and sell the APC. The NDC doesn't need anybody to sell them. The youths have suffered enough. What they needed was the understanding of the international community, which I'm very happy to see being expressed by Peter, who currently is on a speaking tour across the world. You see his acceptance by the EU, and he spoke to them. That is what we intend to do, to speak to the international community about the Nigerian issue. It is to our joy and happiness that the international community are taking, interest in the Nigerian issue. The Americans are here, and you know it. Wherever the Americans go, the rest of the world watch. And they behave themselves. They come here, they've been quiet, they're calm, they're down, they're here. They ain't going nowhere soon. They ain't going nowhere soon. So wherever it is, that is one thing that we have gained. Our propagations, our sensitizations have led to the international community's deep understanding of the crisis that has plagued Nigeria for over a decade now. And that's the beauty about it. You should be part of it to contribute. I don't feel any push. I believe I have contributed my own worth. I believe I stayed on the path of truth. I believe by refusing to engage in genocide denial, that I keep the memory of those killed in a very good place. And they know we will not stop until there's justice for them. And so we're happy that the international community led by the Americans are here in Nigeria to stop the killings. The killings are not the only bad things in Nigeria. You know, non-existence of free and fair election is also a bad thing. You know, the criminal plunging of our economy is also a bad thing. So there's a lot of bad things going on in our country. But let's start to cure them by sensitization, not keeping quiet. The things we do bring dividends. And I'm very happy to say that I am very satisfied at where we are right now currently.
I asked that question because of the two things. Number one, the APC, believe it or not, indirectly by proxy, have meandered their way into the corridors of power in the Western Bloc, being Washington, D.C. They have lobbyists that they are working with who are trying so hard to smoothen the image of Tinubu as it is right now. And secondly, I'm concerned because of the low temperament of President Trump, whom, and I want to be wrong in this, whom I see as tilting towards being ready to being ready to approve whatever the outcome is in 2027 because of his relationship with his daughter and what's his name, the guy from Lebanon, that's the special advisor to Africa. Trump
Mr.
somehow
Shaguri or Mr. Bulus?
no, not Shaguri.
Mr. Bulus.
Bolus, that's his name.
Bulus or Bulus Enterprises. Remember Bulus Enterprises?
SCOA.
The company that was robbed by Oyenusi and his company?
Right.
And the owner of Square Motors, remember, sir?
Yes.
Yes.
He has a strong pull over here in DC. And you and I know the relationship. Since Shaguri is involved, he and Shaguri are close. The president and Shaguri are close. A lot of things are happening here that we tend to just ignore. And I think that, yes, Governor Obi is on a speaking tour and in Europe is well accepted, but over here, that's where the main tussle is. And he's not been here. We have 6 months to kick off time. So do we need someone over here that can match whatever lobbying that the Nigerian government is trying to do now, which may favor the incumbent as it is? That's my concern, and an area that I think the NDC need to focus on.
Let me help you. The people in Nigeria, the Americans, they didn't come here because Peter Obi lobbied them, no. They came here because Israeli lobby brought them here. And you should understand that nothing Tinubu will do will defeat the abilities of the Israeli lobby. Forget those issues. They don't mean nothing. Trump didn't come to Africa because Africans asked him to come. No, the Israeli lobby did. And that's what you need to understand. So whatever it is that the Israeli lobby have seen in Nigeria, as the Fulanis were always in New York castigating the Israelis for their actions in the occupied territory, yet the Fulani were doing wars across the Sahel, as we now have seen. Focusing attention on them, of course, you can see what it is, and that's why the Americans came, despite the government's embrace of denial as policy. We today have American boots on the ground. For me, who has lived there as a child and have seen the sufferings of our people due to the Sunni capture of our country, like a coup, thinking we won't do nothing, and we're doing nothing. I'm grateful that Americans are here. You know, some people do not understand how this thing works, but I just simply want you to cast your mind to other climes where the Americans have come. They don't leave quickly. They're not going to go anytime soon. What came here is not just anything. This is the drone squadron, the same drone squadron that left Niger. They are back in Nigeria. And of course, you know, the war of the future is all drone based. So the drone squadrons have been gathering quantum amount of information. And of course, they're calibrating what they do. So let them stay here and let's see how the election goes. The election turns out to be not free and fair. The US will then continue from that. They already have possession of our grounds. We have US boots on the ground in Nigeria. So put that in your mind and whatever you think. Yes, we're still behaving like my people, don't care, threatening elections. Don't worry. We have a third party that we can talk to. Where we're going to, I don't need to say everything, but there is a reason why Peter is running, as he said, as presidential candidate in the elections. I'm not going to say too many things on television or on the internet, but bear in your thoughts, we are also working. We're not just sitting down and looking at bridges. No, we are working and we are happy that the US people are here.
As always,
All right.
thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, sir. So let me quickly perhaps just buttress that point because I've been one of those advocating for this particular thing he mentioned. The idea is basically you're dealing with a Tinubu and you're dealing with somebody who is very invested in the media across the globe. You see how far spokespersons of the government went, on a tour of foreign media houses to quell or perhaps calm the narrative of Christian genocide, according to them. Now, you cannot be dealing with someone like that without also being twice as armed as they are. That's the interpretation. For instance, a lot of people think that there is nobody among the contestants that perhaps have the kind of baggages people are accusing Tinubu of having. And yet, he seems to be the strongest candidate. Why? Because the opposition are simply not making use of his weaknesses the way they ought to.
Yeah.
And some people will tell you that Tinubu may not be afraid and may not send you guys in Nigerian media because no matter what you do, it doesn't matter. What may affect him the most is denting his image in international media.
Yeah.
So why not get a PR, a well-grounded, oiled PR person who can help you guys in strategic communication? There are things, for instance, some of the criticism of P2B against his administration should be making foreign tabloids to show the ineptitude of the administration. But it's not, it's just like air here in Nigeria because the Kukuma no send you. That's what people are saying. In fact, Laura, one of our guests here, callers here, she's always advocated for that. So do you not think that there will be need? Because the ones that the youth have their limits. And because they're doing what they're doing, because they're organic, they do what they do without experience. You cannot equate what they will do with what a well-oiled PR machine can do. It's not the same thing. These are communications that are well planned. For instance, this Kenneth Okonkwo's thing, the way it happened, a good PR person could use this immediately to P2B's advantage and spin it around, both local and internationally. But the reason why it's not really going the way it's going and it's just haphazard is because there is no coordinated media strategy. So are you saying that it is not necessary to have a coordinated media strategy? That's the point. And this is not much. I think that I have also told most of them here, most of these people in diaspora may be willing to fund it if you guys are open to working with them to getting one. Because people think it is important, because this is like a fight of, after now, P2B may not contest again because he said he will not contest in 2031. So this is like the only opportunity you have or he has. So he should be able to play all his cards to the best of his ability. I yield the mic, sir.
I agree with you. What you're saying is proper and you're on point. We hear that. We shall put your advice into our plans. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate. All right, it's time for us to go, but there are lots of
Yeah,
questions coming through. Let me see if I can take some
that's
of them.
good.
You did ask a question, Dr. Katch. People say that where they don't have light, though. That Ozodima has not done
Yeah,
anything.
I'm seeing it
They
here.
say
It's not true.
they don't have
Owerri,
light.
where they have light is New Owerri, the Concord area. The area
Mm.
that's it's not all of Owerri, it's New Owerri. Hear me now. Somebody was talking about not having light on MCC Road. There is none. What they have today serves just New Owerri. In New Owerri, you have 24-hour light that has gone on now for up to 60 days. It's not all parts of Owerri or all parts of Imo that has the light. The area that has the 24 hours uninterrupted is New Owerri, where you call Nekede. The places where you have the Concord Hotel, all those areas where you have nightclubs, hotels, and everything, that's where you have 24 hours light, not on MCC Road. They are working now to bring the same capabilities to that MCC Road side as the old Owerri, where you have Oji. Before they now start, they are also going to Olo and Okigwe. I'm aware of this. They're even now buying directly capacities from Transmission Company of Nigeria. Everybody now, the way the law is, all states can now generate. That's why I said Professor Soludo should be thinking about generating power internally in Anambra, making
I'm not
use
fighting
of the
his brother.
resources that the Obaro Basin brings, instead of wasting his time talking about P2B every time. What kind of
Mm.
madman is this? I don't understand what's wrong with Chukuma. Eh? What kind of person are you? Chukuma wants to become another Kenneth Okonkwo. I don't understand
That's what he
Professor
is now.
Soludo's problem. He is him and Okonkwo are competing to outdo each other. Can you imagine this?
Yeah.
That's why I tell you, you can never wish against such behavior. It's there from among challenged population, the weak ones will do this. You're not going to just advise them to stay, they won't stop it. People do these kind of things for their own selfish, private motives. That's what you see Kenneth Okonkwo do. The same thing you see Dave
APC
Umahi
is
do.
a cost to
Same
Nigeria.
thing you see Wike do. We have plenty of people who do such things. So Nigeria is not a very, very normal place. It's an abnormal society. That's why you see mad people who think that their life should only exist by behaving foolishly against their own people. It's sad.
All right,
Our country is not normal. I beg you.
Ike, you have something to say very quickly?
Yeah, good evening, Dr. Katch. Good morning. Oh, it's morning.
Where are
Good
you
morning,
calling us
sister.
from?
Okay,
It's
I used
night.
to call,
It's morning already.
Yes.
yes, I used to connect from Texas, but I'm in Europe now. I've gone to visit some countries, and then in all of those visits, is still the topic of P2B and Nigerian political problems that has been the center of all our discussions. Dr. Katch talked about the number of youths we have that are enough, to counteract whatever APC did in 2012, getting a consultant. But Dr. Katch, I want to say that we really do need those international consultants. You see, the whole politics in Nigeria is controlled by the international media and the international collaboration. The whole power that APC and Tinubu and Buhari that passed were all controlled internationally, because that's those people they will go to ask for money. They are the people they are going to ask for any kind of aid to survive. So if we have enough If we have enough presence internationally, we'll be able to succeed at home. Like they usually say, that if you are not on the table, you will be part of the menu. So there is no way we can rely only on the followership in Nigeria to succeed in this whole thing. The election in Nigeria is to an the international community is interested in it. Here, even the people that have not visited Nigeria before, that don't even know so much about Africa, know about our election, know about our president. I'm shocked how the white people talk about our country. And like they say that if the hunter is the only one that is going to tell the story of what happened in the bush, not the animal that is shot. So we want to be part of that storytelling. The word of mouth campaign, and having that word of mouth at the right place is all we need. But we have a lot of visibility, but those visibility are not ringing any bell in the international community at all. So we can vote the same way. I saw the caption here, just like I won in 2023, I will still win. But what is the gain when somebody wins at the poll and you are not sworn in as the president? So there is so much international pressure, but we must be at the table where these discussions are held. If we are not, we will just be making noise here, but it is not making any effect at all. So as a matter of urgency, we need to have an international consultant, tabloids, that will be able to take our message to where these decisions are taken. It is not only in Nigeria. Any country that has natural resources, the international community is interested. They are interested in their election. So if we don't blow our trumpets at the places where it must be heard, we will blow it and it will just be a vuvuzela that does not go to anywhere. And back to Owerri, sincerely speaking, Dr. Katch, you might be talking about this uninterrupted power supply. If the people in Imo State are having it, you will not be the one to say it. I tell you, when something is done by the government, the people are the trumpet, they will say it. If the government is the one explaining their infrastructural development, that means it is non-existent. But if it is there, the people are the ones that are going to blow it. There is no uninterrupted power supply in Owerri. When it happened in Aba, it was not Alex Oti and his people that told the world about it. The people itself said it because they could experience it. When the governor of Imo State that is spending more than half of the month in Abuja, where is he working on getting power in Owerri? It is not there. If it is there, our people will say it. I'm from Imo State. In as much as I'm not in Imo State now, we still speak with our people every day. The power is not there. If it is there, people will announce it. People will say it everywhere. So please, these 2 points, both the infrastructural development in our country and P2B settling down. I know the ruling party has distracted them so much that the time they were supposed to use in doing real groundwork, they are using it to survive. And I hope the whole fight against them in the courts are finished so that they can concentrate and do the real campaigns and get us to the finish line. We really need to get to the finish line. If we burn out now before we get to the finish line, we will not be able to snatch this away from them. They are so grounded. They are everywhere here. I don't even know why whatever report the DEA and others say, every day we hear that they say, oh, June 1 is the last day. Until today, we still don't hear anything from the courts. What are these things they are hiding? We don't know. If they don't bring this thing out, that means they are accomplished. They are part of our problem. If these reports come out in the public, it will help us to fight our cause. We really need to win our country. We have people here that are 80 years and above. They want to come back, but they can't come back. Some of my friends just told me today to say, this is not the time to go home. But we need to go home. There is nobody here that prefers here to home. But we need to be alive when we come home. This fight is for everybody. People are going to contribute money towards it. People are going to participate. But we really need to do the right thing. Thank you, my sister, for consistently bringing Nigeria to all of us. We appreciate.
Thank you so much, Dr. Katch. Let me let you
Thank you.
react
I
and
would like to
back up
say
for the
one
night.
thing. Yes, I would like to tell you something. I was in Owerri for the past 3-4 days before I flew into Abuja this afternoon. Make a phone call now, please. Tell them that I said that naked area has uninterrupted power. Don't tell me what you told me before. I'm telling you what's happening now. That new Owerri has uninterrupted power. I repeat it again. Make a phone call so as to find out what's going on. New Owerri, I repeat, has uninterrupted power. And that's the new Owerri I mean is the naked part of Owerri, which is the area of the Concord Hotel, area of Villa Garden Hotel. Those are the parts. It's not everywhere. Just make a phone call. I didn't say somebody told me. I was in the place for 3-4 days. That's how I got this experience. And then by the time I spoke to 3-4 people and they told me the same thing, I was pleased. And then I started inquiring and I found that it was being taken from that Egbema station. And for me, that's a good thing. Okay, that's one. I'm also aware that money had been paid and the Chinese are working at Okuta for that something. It's when you depend on federal government for your dredgings and so on, that's when you would not have it done. But when you do like Abia and Imo are doing, go directly and talk to the contractors. They will do it. The cost will probably be between you and whoever that you engage to do it. But when you expect the federal government to do it for you, that's when it becomes a problem. And I think those things were approved before Buhari left, that the states can now build their own, and that's what's going on. That's one. As I've mentioned the second one, and that's the issue. You know, if you go around Imo State today, they are building a lot of distribution capabilities for electricity because Emeko Force Eastern electricity something is not working at all. And that's why I'm saying that. So for I think you should call home, make phone calls so you can learn what's going on in Owerri. Never mind the old stories. Imo has done very, very well, and I want to commend them. Abia is doing very well, and I also commend it. So if you see states that things are working well, you will praise them. And that's what I'm doing. Please make a phone call back home and be specific as for what I said. I said New Owerri, naked area. That's where you have uninterrupted power supply, not MCC Road, not OG. No, not the old side. It's a new one where you have this. So the country is doing well, but then the country also right now, as I say, I'm happy that we have come to discover this crisis that we have in Nigeria. You know, when people are being killed and everybody keeps mute because they're afraid to offend the sponsors and patrons of this violence, it's not good. So once everybody has now woken up to the crisis, it is a plus. Because the doctors say finding out what ails you is solving that problem 50%. And that's where we are. And so we have now found out what's ailed us. And some of us have the courage to say this is what it is, not being afraid of offending those who plot to kill us. Our country is not at a very good place, but I think there are strategies for us to win. And those of us who are inside and fighting should be commended. If you want things to work well, why don't you also, on your own, the way people have suggested now, talk to some of those people? I did that during the good luck days. I, on myself, I went to New York. I found people I could work with. I traveled as far as Washington to actually get lobbying companies, which I did engage. Engaging lobbying companies is not a big issue. I have done that severally, and I know how to do it. So if Tinubu is doing it now, it doesn't mean that everything will work out well. Good luck engage lobbying companies, but what happened? He still lost power. So no matter what Tinubu does, there's nothing wrong with that. Let him keep doing his own. We also do our own. Those of you who know people you can call to help Nigeria's case, it will be very good that you people also invest your energies in contributing to what we can all collectively do to get a better country.
Time is running out. Let them start doing it now, as at yesterday. Time is going. That's my own.
Thank you.
You are
Thank you.
fighting with a maverick. So let's start on time.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Katch. I have to release you. You've done three hours plus. No, that's so much of time. Thank you so much. It's always a bumper ride with you every Thursday and loaded with lots of knowledge. I appreciate you big time. Your all you know go run dry. The water where you go drink no go run past you by the grace of God. And your reward now for earth you go collect and not be for heaven. You go start to chop on here before you get some virgins over there to complete them. No worries, sir. Thank you so much.
How many virgins are you going to give him? 72
It's
or
not your
80?
business. So I will negotiate based on what he has, and he has the right to choose.
I seek no virgin from anybody. I can find my own virgins. I want virgins. I will get virgins that I don't even want you to know about. I'm also not sick, requiring a virgin to cure. No,
Hell,
I'm fine. I'm good. I've had my fair share in companionship. I have done all the applico that is needed in this business. So I don't seek any virgin. I've had my own virgin. I'm just enjoying my
But you
life.
know, heavenly virgins will be it won't be compared with the earthly virgin.
It's not true. They don't exist. There are no virgins in heaven. All that thing is truly. If you
Are
want
you
virgin,
sure? Go and tell
there
them.
are no.
They say that's why they are killing themselves. So
It's not
go
true.
and at
Nobody has
least
ever gone there and come back to tell us about it. There are
your
no
dead
virgins.
president is now enjoying his 72
I'm telling
virgins.
you, there
don't
are
take
no
this
virgins
conversation
in
to that
heaven.
direction. No way. No way.
Those
Thank
things
you.
are stories. There are no virgins there.
Dr.
All
Katch,
right.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Katch, they say heavenly virgin, now chop one, chop two, so make you not refuse them.
Me, I don't want that kind of virgin. If I don't see the virgin for Niger here, I don't want. I don't want the one they
Okay.
promise me today. I can't die like Buhari. I don't do that one.
You reach there and say, no see any.
Thank you
Buhari will
so
be
People
much.
don't go
regretting
there
now,
tell
so
me
there
say
is no
nothing
virgin.
there now slowly.
Nothing.
Thank
Don't mind
you.
them.
Thank you, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, MC. Thank you, Ike. Thank you, Flagship. Thank you, everyone, for being part of the
Thank
show.
you very much for
It's
having
always a
me.
pleasure. Thank you so much. Do enjoy the rest of your evening till we see next weekend. Thank you. Next week, Thursday. Thank you so much, sir. God bless you. And to
Thank you.
everyone who's part of the show, it's always a pleasure to have you. Thank you for sticking to this platform and always discussing issues about our country and how we can move it forward. Everything we say here is just for the love of the country and the way forward for our country. So all of us go feel benefits very well for the things we concern this our country. I love you guys and I appreciate you. I appreciate your efforts, for sticking by us and paying attention to these discussions. It's very important. I love you. And I see you again tomorrow evening, God willing. But tomorrow evening, God willing. At the meantime, ensure you protect your mental health. If you've not liked and shared this post, please now, like now, share now. I give you a wink. Okay. So please like and share. Subscribe to this platform if you've not done so. Good night and God bless you. Protect your mental health, as I said earlier. Good night.